Yo, Swiper, you on mute right now, my brother.
Just enough. My bad. Hello, can everybody hear me? Everybody hear me?
What an intro.
Goodness gracious. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome back to another episode, everybody. Man, we got a bunch of stuff to get into today. We're going to have a great conversation. We got a lot of great content creators up here ready to bring the heat. We're about to talk about the NBA top 25 based on everything we just saw over the last season, finals, playoff, regular season. And then we also, if we get to it, we'll have an opportunity to talk about everything that we saw from the Western Conference and Eastern Conference and what we can project going into the next year as well. So it's going to be a dope conversation. Hope everybody's doing well. We got my man, Legend of Winning out here. We got Hoop Venue. We got Young Mustard. We got Shove. We got Gifted. Y'all, what's going on, fellas? How y'all feeling today?
We live. What's good, y'all?
We good,
great,
man.
Hey, guys.
I'm happy to be here on the God's Day. How's everybody doing, man?
We
Man, I'm good, man. I'm just
good,
honestly,
man.
I'm glad Master got his Chipotle finally.
honestly, man, I'm just happy that a guy like Swiper gave me this platform, to come in,
God, Jesus
talk some basketball with my fellow people. You feel me?
I just want to thank Swiper
So,
for the opportunity, man.
I appreciate you, brother.
There we go.
I appreciate Swipe invited me to this lecture by the witness, so I'm Denver.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, that's what we do, man. I gotta educate the people, man. You know what I mean? Birthday week, you know what I mean? Gotta have you put a gift out for the people, bro. This is what we about, bro. Now I know some of you are like, who are these people? I've never seen their faces before. You probably have never seen Shub in person before. That's Shub, Ovo Lake Show. My man, LA Lakers, legendary LA Lakers very own. Shub, I appreciate you making time today, man. I know you don't really consort with non-Lakers community folks, man, but I appreciate you making time for us.
Hey, yeah, anything for Swipe over here. Always show me great love and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm excited to learn about Denver Nuggets history. So let's get with it.
Oh man! All right, so this is kind of how today's going to work, everybody. So I have an NBA top 25 list that I put together, and we're going to have an opportunity to work through it. Everybody's going to have a chance to critique it. They're going to be able to add to the list as well. So if they have people that they want to see in those spots, or even some people that I might have left off, they can go ahead and do that. We're going to critique all the way from 25 to 1. And on top of that, they might also have their own list and information they're going to provide as well. So this is going to be a great conversation. I can't wait because you know what? Like, I know everybody up here knows basketball. They have their own little niches that they have. Everybody that they lock into, they have their own preference. Young Mustard's favorite player is DeMar DeRozan, so he will make an appearance on the list, and I'll give him some runway to be able to defend his man and why he should have been MVP last year. And then obviously Shub's going to be pushing LeBron James slanders why he's still the best player in the NBA, even though he's 87 years old. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and keep it moving, you all. So let me go ahead and bring it up on the screen. Now, for context, this is only based on the 2021 and 2022 season. So everything you see right here is going to be based on that. So before people start tripping and being like, where's this, where's that, this is where they are. And so, matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop the honorable mentions. People who did not make the list but received an honorable mention for NBA top 25, and that way we can start to deliberate. Go ahead, y'all. What y'all think? So
how are you streaming this on Twitter? That's fucking crazy. I don't even know how to fucking do that. What the hell?
So all you got to do is when you go.
Are you streaming this on Twitter right now?
No, you can tell me later. Yeah, that's damn. I didn't know.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, so all you got to do is look at the honorable mention list. So this is the honorable mention people who did not make the NBA top 25 based on this last regular season. We got Bubblicious Anthony Davis. We got Jared Allen, CJ McCollum, Fred VanVleet, misspelling, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Kyrie Irving, Jaren Jackson Jr., Evan Mobley, and Bradley Beal. Anybody got any hot takes about that? Any pushback about those players?
Yo, the VanVleet F in his name is crazy.
I know, bro. It messed it up. I apologize with the B, the BLEET.
I'll say this, Anthony Davis. Oh man.
I don't think he should be in it, though. I don't think he should be in it.
The top 25.
Yeah,
I mean, if it is based off of last year, he didn't only play. Did he even play 50 games last year?
No, he did. No,
he
he
I think
played
it was
40.
42 or something like that.
I think it was 40,
Okay.
43.
That's fair. He missed half of the season, so that's fine.
So this list is accounting for health.
Yeah, it's
That's
accounting
like
for
Kyrie,
health as
maybe.
well.
Of course,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Because
Okay.
I
We
was
see Jamal
Yeah.
Murray. You know,
Dang,
We'll
Shea.
definitely he played 40 games on the dot last year. And we'll
Damn.
definitely know how
Right.
much health played a factor when we ranking LeBron. But until
but look,
then, this is fine.
It's
man.
not even that. But look, but it's not even just
That's
that. I don't
interesting.
think he was a top 25 player even when he played last year. That's my first hot take. I don't think that he was.
Okay.
That's
top
you're
25.
wilding. You're wilding. You're
I'll put it all
wilding.
on there. I'll put it all
You're
on there.
wilding. You're wilding.
Anthony
You're
Davis
wilding.
on competition,
You're wilding.
because I will
You're
say they're gonna be there's another player in here who didn't get a chance to play a lot, but I think again in the spots that he played very well. I think he was top 25, but Anthony Davis is not making this list.
but how is 23, 10, and 2 blocks not like?
I'm about to
20,
say
25?
that's
I'm on the court.
easy top 25 player.
Anthony Davis is not on my list. This is not a surprise. If you know me, Anthony Davis is not going to be on my list, but I do appreciate
No,
it.
that's
Anthony
it's
Davis
fine,
25
but
is.
why though? Why? Because like you said, if it's injuries, that's understandable. But you saying even when he did play, he wasn't top 25.
Yeah,
Here's my
That's
thing.
crazy.
I agree with honorable
Yeah.
mention, like because you're accounting
Yeah.
for injuries. But if you remove the name and it's a player X, 23, 10, and 2 blocks is instant top 25, no matter what.
Look,
league.
we're gonna have plenty of time to deliberate this because there could be some people in here, especially for you, Shub, that are absolutely going to make you mad. But we will get to that as we.
I'm
go.
also shocked. You don't think Shea?
Yeah,
Shea,
I don't know,
Shea's
man.
another one who didn't play that many games.
How many
Yeah,
games?
Shea didn't play.
He wasn't knocking his shots down like he normally does this year.
Although he was still really, really good outside of his
I'm about to
shot
say he
making.
was still very good. And at the
no,
end of
no,
the
I-
season, his shots.
Shea
Go ahead.
torches.
I-
He torches top defenses too.
I get
Yeah,
it, but,
exactly.
he played, but he played like 50 some games. So if he had played 80, I can see like the injury thing isn't a problem. But him shooting that poorly and also was like one of the least efficient volume scorers in the NBA is kind of like I don't mind that either. It really just depends on who he has between 25 and 20 or whatever.
Yeah, I got to see who
Yeah, I gotta
25
see
is
that,
first and
yeah.
foremost. I gotta
Because
see
I'm not
that
gonna lie,
first.
if DeAndre Ayton is higher on that list,
Yeah.
I don't know
boy.
about that, bro.
Also,
I don't know about
I want to
that.
shout out CJ McCollum too, because if he
Right.
played the way he did on the Pelicans all season,
Yeah,
he'd
he'd be top 25.
He's-
Oh no, he shot 40% from three on high volume for the Pelicans. He was really good for the
and
Pelicans.
he's the reason
in
they made the
regular season.
playoffs, like shockingly. So shout out
Actually,
to
that
him.
might actually be my problem. That and Jared Allen might actually be my problem. No cap.
Yeah, Jared Allen was close. I think some of it
I
is.
think Evan Mobley
you know,
top 25.
Uh,
Somebody just
Look,
said it.
Wait, that means
I mean,
Garland
Evan-
made the list. That means
so
Garland
the
made
thing is, the thing with Evan
Evan
Mobley,
should
I
not
think
be
that
sniffing no top 25. I'll tell y'all that right now. He should not be no top 25.
oh,
He's
Man.
not, bro. He's not, bro. Come on now, y'all got.
Evan's that guy though. Evan is that guy though. Evan really is that guy though.
Yeah, I think Mobley. No, Mobley.
Y'all
was
are
really
gassing
good.
mid, bro. Y'all are
Mobley-
gassing mid.
Mobley was really good, but I think that's more based on flashes than like the actual overall.
I'm saying,
I agree with
thank
Benny
you,
on
bro.
that.
Thank
Yeah.
you, God.
Yeah, it's in love with the
That
flash.
nigga Jared Allen went out the lineup and he fell off defensively, bro. Come on now, he's not the same.
that applies to everybody, but you got it, dog.
He's
I mean, that
a
applies
Jared
to-
Allen merchant, bro. That's what he is.
Nah,
And offensively, it ain't like.
that far. I wouldn't
Don't
go
do
that far. I wouldn't go
Oh
that
wow,
far.
the disrespect.
Okay, we'll see, bro.
I think it's fair to
I'm-
say Jared Allen profoundly impacts how Evan Mobley can play because he's a solid rim protector when he's out there on the
Mhm.
court. But Evan
Mhm.
Mobley still took it to a whole other level when he actually had another rim protector in the lineup. So
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
shit. You put a lot of power forwards in that position, they could take it to another level when you got.
Yeah,
Jared
but
Allen.
Mobley also-
What is this?
Mobley
Bro,
also
put-
makes it a lot easier on Jared.
Put a
though,
lot
by
of.
being
I'm just
so
saying,
flexible.
put a lot of power
and don't
forwards
say
on that.
Patrick Williams.
Hey, put Patrick Williams in that scenario. That
No,
defense is
no,
still great,
no,
bro.
no.
That's nasty.
I gotta
Patrick
see
25,
this
bro.
tier. I gotta see the next. I gotta see
Yeah.
this tier.
Yeah,
I gotta see these.
All right.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for me
Alright.
to tell. I gotta see the tier.
So we are moving on
Crazy.
to the first section of the top 25. Here is the first section of the top 25. I have Zach
Oh
Levine,
my god.
Draymond Green, Darius Garland, Jalen
Okay.
Brown, and Donovan Mitchell in the next.
Oh.
Zach Levine
This
was
is so-
definitely better than DeMar, but I guess it is what it is.
Oh,
if y'all want to say
whoa.
that, if you want to say that,
All right, wait.
Honestly, bro, I'm not even so mad at the Levine and DeMar thing, but the fact that you got Levine below Jalen Brown is crazy to me, bro.
Levine had
Jalen
injury
Brown,
problems this year, though.
That is true.
Yeah, it was the injuries.
Zach
It was the
Levine
injuries.
That's
had
fine.
injuries.
That's fine. We
back to
still
the
know
playoffs.
Levine was better than that. nigga,
But
bro.
Jalen Brown also did play very well in the playoffs, so he did get a little bit of a bump for me this regular season.
A little bit.
Bro, he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to
He
play with
was
DeMar
nice.
DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan was the best player on the board.
DeMar DeRozan was an MVP candidate for most of the season, bro. Like we're not going to sit here and do
I'm
that.
not.
We're not gonna sit here
No,
and act like
no.
DeMar
You
wasn't
talking
that
about the playoffs? You brought up the playoffs. He didn't have to play with DeMar in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Come on now.
list
Vooch is on his team. He plays
This
with
list
Vooch.
looks like it was mostly regular season.
What do you mean? What does it mean? Vooch is
playoff.
trash. Vooch
Yes,
is hot
this
garbage.
already this
Vooch
list
is
feels
not
like
great.
this list already feels like it's heavily based, which is fine
Which is
because
cool.
some of these players didn't make a deep postseason run, so that's fine.
Yeah.
And one
Even
clearly
Garland.
did,
I don't
and
know
he's
how I
getting
feel
no
about Garland
love.
above Levine too.
Two of
I
these
don't know
players
how I feel
clearly
about
did,
that.
and they're getting no. Draymond, I
mean,
understand, but Jalen Brown,
Darius Garland.
Yeah.
If you factor in the regular season 50% and the playoffs 50%, there's no way 21 players are better than Jalen Brown. I'm sorry, based on just last season.
I can understand Draymond being the
I don't know,
Jalen Brown
because
is
you have to-
actual
injury,
Tatum some
but, you know.
games.
But
bro.
you
Yeah.
at a certain point,
Yeah.
you have to look at how good Jalen Brown is, and Jalen Brown is just not as good as a lot of the guys that are even.
Well,
I
lower
understand, and
on
I'm
this
not
list,
saying
bro.
he's like top 10, but I think six based on the finals and the playoff run Brown has had, I think 16, 17, 18, no matter.
Okay,
who.
well, don't bring up the finals. He wasn't
It's
that
fair.
good in the finals.
Yeah,
to
well,
be
I'm just saying he
honest.
saved Tatum a lot of those games in the run. So I think 22 is a
How many
tad-
players of this caliber have the option of being like a fourth playmaker in their own starting lineup, though? Think about that.
Good question.
Jalen Brown is playing with four other playmakers at all times,
Damn.
so he's not expected to initiate a lot of offense in the playoffs like a guy like Darius Garland or Donovan Mitchell. So I think
Right.
that makes it a lot easier for him to
And-
be a two-way player.
But I just
And when
think
he
that, like,
does
in
play
the
make,
best
he
games,
sucks at it. He's not that good.
He sucks at it, but then his performances in the playoffs like don't lie. Like he is the fourth playmaker, no doubt. But the performances he was able to have in production he had in the biggest games of the season, like I just think that warrants a few slots, not a ton of slots, a few slots above. That's just me though.
I kind of.
I would have to see who's
sick at the
above.
I'm slightly sick at the Draymond thing, but I get why because of the injuries. But when he was healthy playing, I really feel like he was in conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. But 24
He was
is fair.
leading the argument. He should have won it. Actually,
He was.
Yeah.
I agree.
If he didn't get hurt, he
Yeah.
probably would have won Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I think
I
Draymond was
agree.
probably the one that was hardest to play because I don't think people have a real value on his defense and his playmaking this season. I think he was great for most of the year. Obviously, he got hurt for a stretch. And the Warriors, they didn't fall off, but they got worse after that 9-game streak or whatever it was defensively when he was not out there. I think in the playoffs, maybe through finals until he got to really maybe game 3, game 2-ish or whatever, the finals, like he was pretty good. I think throughout the entire playoff run, obviously the defense that he played on Joker, then even carrying over to Memphis, then even carrying obviously what he did against Luka and them, I think he was really, really good. So, but I think again, based on everything, I have Draymond here. I think the one that was the most tough to place is Darius Garland. I think he had maybe the most. I think of every star level player, he might have the most underrated playmaking season this year. I think that
100%.
Darius really elevated his game to a very significant.
Really?
degree.
Is it
Darius,
really that underrated?
I'm gonna say he's
Above
fine.
I think so.
Well,
I think
I'm
well,
saying.
I don't know. I don't know if regular NBA people know how good he was.
Oh, you know what? My bad. I watch basketball. Right. Yeah.
He was great, but Swiper. So we're basically saying Garland is a steady defender if we're putting him above Levine, then, right? Like you trust it because we know
I think he's
Levine's
passable.
defense is atrocious, but to put Garland over Levine, like you have to be like accounting for his defense.
I mean, but
So
Garland
do you
is better
think-
than Levine. Period. Though. Like that's not.
I was gonna say,
even
I think
hard.
Garland's a
Yeah,
better
he-
offensive player too.
Yeah, the gap is so big to me offensively because of his playmaking,
It's
his natural
so
off-ball
big?
ability.
so big is wild.
So big is.
I don't know if I would say so big, but I mean,
so.
I
big
think
is-
it's pretty big.
I
think it's
don't know
pretty
if
big,
it's
to
gonna
be
be
honest
that
with you.
big. It's not. I don't think it's that big. Pause.
All right,
I
so
think-
Pause. What the fuck? Pause.
you gotta relax. You gotta relax.
I
though.
feel like-
A little too happy over there, bro.
I think 23 is fine. The Garland is not my problem. I
think 23 is a great spot for
yeah,
Garland.
23 is fine. I have no problem.
Yeah.
Bro, I mean, the disrespect to Levine is crazy, but it's fine, bro.
disrespect.
I agree with Omo, bro. Like
See, this is a
Disrespect.
perfect.
I do
This is a
think
perfectly
he's a
placed
bit
tier.
All right, but here's my question though: what makes Jalen Brown better than Darius Garland?
Nothing.
Yeah, man.
Oh no, defense. I'll give
I just want to ask.
Yo,
you said Garland better than
It's
what?
nothing.
What makes what?
what
So
makes
you
What
don't-
makes Jalen Brown better than Darius Garland in your mind?
So you don't think through the end of the season and through the playoffs, you don't think that Jalen Brown. I think again, what placed him even above like some of the players on this list is what he did do in the playoffs. So that even put him over Darius Garland and even Zach and Draymond based on what he did through that.
I can understand the playoff performance, but if you look at Cleveland and where they were slated to be when the season started, considering the injuries and the offensive load Darius Garland had to carry as their number one scorer and playmaker overall, I think he just had more responsibility than Jalen Brown did on the Boston Celtics overall.
My thing with Garland is that for a lot of the season, he was playing with essentially three non-spacers, Okoro, Mobley, and Jared Allen in the starting lineup. And he responded by having one of the best playmaking seasons in the league and shooting 41% on pull-up threes. Like, that's extremely impressive to me. And he's shown ability to be like a very competent off-ball mover as well. So if they retain Sexton, I think we might even see another level of Garland where he's like
and there were
just
points,
a legitimate offensive superstar.
And I don't know how much you're basing like your rankings for Garland on the play-in games, because I know in some of those play-in games he was a little iffy, especially that one against the Hawks. But like when you consider the amount of injuries, because he had more ball handling responsibilities when Rubio left, and his ability, his playmaking level even skyrocketed after that. Not skyrocketed, but it did go up even after that. You would think that, like, especially for a third-year player who just 2 years ago, this guy was, you could argue, the worst starter in the league. And like now, like more responsibility even after Rubio gets hurt. Like Hoop Venue said, less floor spacers. Mobley got hurt at a point in time in the season. I think he got COVID. Jared Allen at the end of the year missed games, and he was still able to go out there and create so many opportunities, being the real only shot creator or consistent shot creator, because LeVert came in and wasn't that good, you know. So like I genuinely think I would have him over Jalen Brown, because I don't think the response he has offensively and how we just saw in the playoffs when teams really focus in on him, sometimes they don't even gotta send him a double, but when they do, he doesn't know what the hell to do. He genuinely doesn't know what to do. So I think that Garland should be over Jalen Brown. I get it, the playoffs are there, but I just think as a player, Garland showed more, especially how to impact the offense, that Jalen Brown.
Hey, Musher, but remember when Jared Allen went out for them injuries, man, I think Darius played very well down that stretch as well. So I think he carried this team extremely well. I think again, he took leap this season that I didn't even think. And again, this is not. I think it shows how people value basketball. There was a time when Darius Garland was considered the number 2 option in the college section. So I just think that the way that he's elevated his game overall, like he really leaped in my eyes.
So
by the way, speaking of Sexton, did y'all see what happened to him? Y'all see what happened to him with his contract?
3 years, $30 million.
Yeah,
I thought it was fake for a second.
Wait, he signed?
Yeah, that's why. No, he didn't sign that.
That's just what they gave him. I still think Brown is maybe slightly lower, but I do want to just see what's the next tier. I don't mind a lot of these names.
What about
I think it's just like I
think this is a very acceptable tier. I don't have any big like.
I don't have issues, but just I think Jalen. My only thing is I think Jalen Brown, based on what we saw, is like 17, 18, 19. But we'll see. But if you guys want to say Garland is a better player than Jalen Brown, no problem. But based on like the list, like summation of regular season and playoffs, like my criteria, I just view that. If your production in like the biggest games are there, no matter what your skill set isn't like in the other games, I just think you should be rewarded for that. But if Garland's a better player than Brown, I have no problems with that. That's fine.
Okay. So we're moving on to the next.
Here come Aaron Gordon.
You all can see this.
Here come Aaron Gordon.
This is tier 5A. This is Pascal Siakam at 20, Karl Anthony Towns at 19, and Brandon Ingram.
Okay, and see now this is where bullshit starts.
I'm about to say this is where it starts.
I like this tier.
I'm not mad at this. I would even say Ingram.
I think Ingram
should be higher, but we'll see what happens.
Ingram is about to be way too low.
Yeah, I think Ingram should be higher, but
I see that's the thing about the players in front of him. There is one player that I know y'all gonna be pissed about. It's gonna be a little bit higher, but I think the thing is with Ingram, I don't know if he was top. I don't know if he was top 20 for a long part of the season, but that last from the All-Star break through the playoff, Brandon Ingram showed massive amounts of leap as a playmaker, as an on-ball scorer. What he did next to CJ McCollum, I think having another playmaker in the starting lineup with him at point guard. I think Herb Jones helped him not having the same defense responsibility. Right. I think having Jackson Hayes and Valanciunas being able to work in a large, like in a bigger lineup and being in the primary option in those lineups, I think the fact that he was able to elevate the team without Zion Williamson being there. And then, like I said, I think CJ and Herb Jones really helped him to expand his overall game. And Brandon Ingram did what you wanted him to do with the Lakers. And even especially when he played point guard for the Lakers, like he had some of this in him, but I really think that Brandon Ingram earned a lot of clout this year. I think on a player-for-player basis, he was better than Karl Anthony Towns.
And that's why we're about to say I think 18 is a little bit low, but we'll see.
I want to say this.
We think 18 is too low for Ingram?
Yeah, I think it is too. Because when you stop and really think about how many names are missing this year because of injuries alone, I couldn't really think of that many.
I think you have to really take in Brandon Ingram's season. He started out rough, but it was only because of his injuries, and they lost so many games, and he came back and was playing at that level. In my estimation, he didn't make the All-Star game just because of how bad his team record was, but he showed multiple leaps as a playmaker this season, and even his off-ball game with CJ started to develop towards the end, and then he showed, especially in the playoffs, his comfortability in that series. Can you imagine if Zion was actually healthy alongside that in the playoffs?
Man.
You know, so
I think comfortability is the right word, Gifted, because you saw and that's a formula for success for New Orleans moving forward, is that you got your playmaker in CJ, which allows Ingram to focus on what he does best, and that's score the basketball. And he was doing that versus quote unquote the number one best team in the league last year. I
don't even know. I was gonna say I don't even know if I would say at this point Brandon Ingram's best ability is scoring. He's a phenomenal scorer. I think he's one of the best mid-range scorers in the league by far, but when we talk about the playmaking leap, I don't think people realize he took a step to elite playmaking territory.
I agree.
He's a legitimately outstanding passer and creator. He generates so many shots at the rim through his mid-range creation and his pick and roll ability. So I think especially next to Zion next year,
we're gonna see
the Pelicans are gonna have a ridiculous offense. They're gonna be a top 3 to 5 offense in the league, I think. And
they will for sure. I agree.
I would think for that reason too, I would rank Ingram higher on this. And if you wanted to make a projection into this season, I would rank him higher as well.
And the thing also that Gifted pointed out how he didn't even make the All-Star game. If I'm not mistaken, when he played, they had an above average record, or no, they were above 500.
They did very good with it.
They were very good when he played. And if he was fully healthy, there's a good chance they're probably fighting for a playoff spot that they already solidified in the regular season instead of trying to get into the playoffs to the play-in.
Mustard, do you know what's really terrifying though? Brandon Ingram had this type of season, and he had a down year shooting from 3.
Right?
Because he's a pretty good 3-point shooter. Imagine if he had that on top of this season, he would be way higher. But
I agree.
I have a question: is Pascal Siakam too low to y'all?
No,
too low. No, he's fine.
If anything, it's too high. But shout out to his second half of the season because that's the reason he's on.
I was gonna say he's a little too high.
He might be too high.
I think Pascal is one of those guys who has a huge range for me. I think there's a lot of spots.
The thing about Pascal, though, I just think that in consequence of what he did in the second half of the season, as Scotty Barnes, Fred VanVleet, and also having obviously the rest of the roster, Gary Trent Jr., I think that the way he was able to elevate the Toronto Raptors and being the clear number one option and what he was able to do. And again, y'all remember he played center for a large part of the year as well. So I think just the lineup versatility that he offered to them. And then again, being maybe at times their best playmaker, obviously even just on-ball creator in some ways. Again, I know they're very limited with Toronto. I think they need to improve there significantly. I think that Pascal Siakam was a top 20 player this year, but I also didn't think that he was better overall than Karl Anthony Towns or Brandon was through the course of the season. Karl Anthony Towns had one of the best offensive seasons we've ever seen from a big, especially on the outside and the perimeter. Right. Defensively, he collapsed. He wasn't great. In the playoffs, he collapsed. He was inconsistent. But Karl, legitimately, was great offensively this year. He might have been. I think he was the third best offensive center in the NBA this year. Which, given what the other two did, I think was really speaks highly how well he played. So I think that third team All NBA was well deserved too. But I think that this is about where I would have all 3 of those players.
I'm not mad at 19 at all, and I think Pascal has an opportunity to be even higher on this list. Considering how good he's going to be in Brooklyn next year. So we'll see what happens.
My main issue with Cat in the playoffs were all the games that he struggled in were directly correlated to his foul troubles. He would foul early, and that would set off his momentum and tempo for the rest of the games. But in every game in the playoffs where he was not in foul trouble, he was stellar. I think his defensive discipline alongside Gobert, since Gobert's there to clean up his issues, could really maximize Cat offensively even more next season.
Yeah, well, Cat also, he's not a bad rim protector. Like, that's the one thing he's actually okay at. So when they put Gobert in those pick and rolls instead of him and allow him to just rotate and play like a help rim protector role, I don't think he'll get nearly as many fouls. My problem with Cat is that my only problem with Cat is actually in the offensive end, funny enough, where it's like a lot of his value comes from his ability to stretch bigs away from the basket and space the floor, because it's pretty much an outlier how good he is at shooting at his position. And in the playoffs and in the play-in, teams kind of nullified that by putting wings on him because he can't take advantage of size advantages. Do y'all remember him trying to post up Reggie Jackson?
Yeah, it was terrible. It was
terrible. Like when you can put Reggie Jackson on Karl Anthony Towns.
Well, didn't he have 6 points in one of those games? Who?
I don't know. I think he has a lot of flaws as a creator. That's why I like him next to Ant a lot, a slashing guard, where I think soon Cat will be unlocked more as like a number 2 than he is as a number 1 right now. So I think in a couple of years we'll talk about Cat a lot differently, but I think this like range of high teens to low 20s is perfect for Cat.
Yeah, I agree too. And I was just like, that's fine. I could even make a hot take case. I'm not going to, but like I was just so unimpressed with how they let go of that series from the Wolves standpoint that I would honestly consider putting Siakam above Cat, but it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
I think my biggest problem with Cat, real quick, is who Venue hit it right on the nose. Like his problem at making other players like wings pay for guarding him, that has been a flaw in his game for a very long time. The last time they made the playoffs, he struggled to post up Chris Paul.
Yeah.
You know, like tough.
Yeah, Cat's soft, bro. Come on, we all know that. We all know that.
He's
a power. He's a shooting guard in a center's body. Like
where would unlike players with the most pressure next year, where would Cat rank on that? I think he's
top 10 to 5. Honestly.
Top 10, yeah.
Well,
because this is like. Go ahead, Swiper.
I was going to say, I think that is true, Mustard. But I think that having Rudy Gobert is going to make him so much better. I think that there's so many things that Rudy's going to be able to offer him that he's not going to have the same defensive responsibilities. He's going to be a better on-ball defender because he has Rudy next to him, which is going to be completely because Rudy is next to him. Offensively, even I think that's going to help him. Hopefully, he grows as a little bit as a high ball, like a high floor like playmaker a little bit. But I think he's going to have maybe his best year next year. But whatever that is relative to the rest of the NBA, I don't know how much that makes him better. I think he's going to be better.
I'm telling you, bro, that you'll see whenever they lose in the second round or in the first round, niggas are going to sit there and be like, Cat is soft again. They're going to say Gobert got exposed again because there's going to be a couple highlight plays of him getting scored on. And then when they keep losing in the first and second round, and probably D'Lo's going to – I don't trust D'Lo personally speaking, but, I think with Gobert, because Gobert is a great roller and all that, he should be able to utilize him the same way he utilized Jared Allen in Brooklyn. But
that team has a very obvious ceiling as long as they have D'Lo still there.
I'm definitely higher on the Timberwolves than pretty much everyone here. So if we get into more team discussions, we'll get into that. But
they're winning.
I want to stay on topic. I can't wait. I want to stay on topic.
Right. All right, so I'm putting a precursor out here. This is going to be by far the most controversial tier that.
Man, hurry up and reveal these names. I'm
precursors.
I'm sitting here counting down the names, and I know for a fact somebody's going to have to be higher than what they are. And there it is.
Oh my goodness.
There it is.
Right. Yeah, it is. So
I
have Paul George at 17. I got James Harden at 16. I have Rudy Gobert at 15. I have DeMar DeRozan at 14 and Chris Paul at 13. So let me explain this. Chris Paul throughout the regular season and really up until the playoff, whatever else, Chris Paul was literally elite the entire season until he got to that injury. He was the best player. He was the second best. He snuck in DeMar. He was one of the best players.
I'm not letting you get that
one of the best players in the NBA. James Harden had a great year. Great year relative to what he's done. It wasn't great. I think James Harden also had another great year.
The dude at 16 is not an NBA player, bro. Like, I don't know who you got at 16.
James Harden. What are you talking about?
Chill out. James Harden is fine.
I don't want to hear that.
Chill out with Harden. Harden is fine. Harden is fine.
I don't want to hear that. James Harden was literally excellent.
I want to ask
is that that means that you put Devin Booker, I'm assuming in the same category as Jimmy Butler and maybe even Tatum and Trae Young and them.
I got a question. I got a question for you, Swipe. I got a question for you.
Go ahead, bro.
So
CP3 too hard.
Think about. I want you to think about DeMar DeRozan's game for a sec, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he's obviously a very good individual scorer, a great creator. He is a flawed but skilled playmaker. Right. Do you think you can win a championship with DeMar DeRozan as your number one option?
No, but that's the whole point, though. I don't. I want to be clear. Here. Again, this is all based on last season, so I would not have these players here if we're going into the next season. DeMar DeRozan is not a number one. I've said this repeatedly. There's only 6 to 8 players currently in the NBA that could be the number one option on championship teams. So I just want to make that clear.
DeMar DeRozan shouldn't even be an option.
If you don't think DeMar DeRozan can be a championship number one option, why is he at 14 when he has 0 off-ball ability, 0 spacing, and he's a bottom 10 defender?
But who would be ahead of him?
I'm not gonna lie. You're being generous with bottom 10.
Yeah, bottom 5 defender.
Bottom 5. With the amount of time he's on the court, he's a bottom 5 defender, bro.
Right, but I had DeMar as my MVP till February.
No effort.
I'm gonna get extreme.
I can't take him out of there. I can't take him out of there.
Not top 15.
I don't even have. This is about to be a hot take. I don't even have DeRozan in my top 30.
Oh, not
last year.
You're gassing.
I don't even have
that's hate. That's hate. Ladies and gentlemen, that is hate.
Okay, you're trolling.
Off last year?
Yes.
He's
trolling.
Wait. How would you leave him out of the top 30?
Top 30 is crazy. Because at that point, you're just drawing names at that point.
No, let me explain my thought process, though.
He's saying when
we're talking about a guy who struggles to be an elite number one option in a playoff setting. This is not just last year. This is an entire.
That has nothing to do with. This is about last year. This is about last season.
Okay, then in last year he sucked in the playoffs too.
He dropped 40. Wait, he had a 40-piece versus the Bucks, bro. Like again, Young Musher will be quick to tell you he dropped 40 versus the Bucks. Giannis was on the court. Right. He played.
Hey, DeMar got a game. KD couldn't do that, bro.
To everybody in the chat, we can see the chat.
He had 41-0 splits.
Hey, when we're ready to talk about James Harden, I'm fuming right now.
Now wait. He had a 48% shooting. I don't care about
what I want to know.
I'm gonna keep it a bean.
I want to give you some sample size real quick.
When you have a guy who can't be an elite number one against a playoff defense.
Bro, this is crazy.
In the month of February alone, he averaged 35.6 points, 56.9 from the field, 58.1 effective field goal percentage, 64.7 true shooting, just under 6 assists, and he played for the Chicago Bulls, one of the most injured franchises we've ever seen in the past couple of years. Zach Levine got hurt. Literally, Patrick Williams missed the majority of the season.
And if the list was based off of the month of February, you're right. But it's
exactly.
No, he shouldn't be that high. We're talking about top 30.
Top 30 is top 30. Top 30 is
top 30. Come on now. Top 30 is
okay, but wait, y'all let me swipe off the hook real quick because Paul George played 30. I'm looking at it right now.
It was excellent. And he was
32 games.
That's the other name that I don't understand.
That's fine.
He was excellent.
He was excellent.
I'm not gonna lie, Paul George.
I didn't want to take.
How did he make the list for 31 games? How did he make the list for 31 games? But 32 games.
James Harden didn't.
No, I'm looking at it. It was 31 games. He was 31 games, but Anthony Davis didn't make it for 40.
Nope.
Was it 40?
Yeah, Anthony Davis was not top 25 player last year. He was not top 25 player last year. He was not. He was not top 25 player last year.
Paul George.
Go look at Paul George's on off last year when he was playing.
You're forgetting Swiper. You're forgetting.
But he literally. Go ahead.
You're forgetting, Swiper, that this nigga Anthony Davis had to deal with the fact that bad spacing on the team, right? Even though he's not really helping into that. Bad spacing on the team. He had to do everything defensively for that team. All the bad defenders they had on that roster. No. He was good defensively. He just wasn't as up to par as his
This
recent
is a
years.
nasty tier.
I
ain't gonna lie. The more I look
Come
at
on
this
now.
tier,
And then you have DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan, who,
this is
yes,
crazy.
great regular season, but in the playoffs, once again, we saw all the flaws in his game. And you have him over somebody like
Agreed.
And I still don't.
Agreed.
My biggest issue on this list that we cannot let Swiper get away with is the Paul George shit. The reason why that's so nasty is Paul George played the most limited games of anyone. No. All of it is. But PG being this high, considering the lack of games played, and he shot terribly from three. Are we gonna talk about it?
Oh, no, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. He shot 35%.
What is this list based off of? Think about what this list is based off of. This list is based off
when he came. No. In the early part of the season, he was shooting bad, but at the end, when he came back, he shot very well from three. If I remember.
But Mustard, this list is based off the regular season and the playoffs. Paul George,
and they didn't make
played
the playoffs.
30% of the regular season, and he played 0% in the playoffs.
And they didn't make the playoffs. That's nasty.
It wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't But listen, y'all. Listen. This is. I'll concede this. Hold on.
It wasn't Darius Garland's fault that his team didn't.
I'll concede this.
It actually is his fault. He played bad.
No, it is. I don't want to hear this. I'll concede this. I put Paul George up here, and I was moving him around trying to figure out where he was. I have no problem dropping him to the next section.
He's off the list.
I'm not taking off the list.
He belongs
not
to
on the
Kyrie.
list at all.
He's not on
He's
the
at the
list.
same level as Kyrie.
I'm about to say Kyrie didn't
He was
make
better
the
than
list.
Kyrie. He was better than Kyrie. I don't want to hear this conversation.
And
Kyrie wasn't going to make my list. Kyrie destroyed an entire franchise. Kyrie Irving destroyed an entire franchise. I don't want to hear this. 2021, 2022 season.
So what you saying is at bare minimum, you think that the gap between Anthony Davis and Paul George was at barely like 10 spots? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's what I'm saying. Paul George can fluctuate on this list where people want to put him. This is where he's
not on the list.
I'm keeping him on the list. But this is why. But look. This is why I said this part of this list is going to cause
you are a Nikola Jokic fan and you falling for Hezzy Tween. I thought I'd never see it there. You a Jokic fan, you falling for Hezzy Tween.
You believe that
this is the most controversial section on the list by far.
I fuck with PG. It's just that we all know he was injured. We also know this wasn't his best season.
He doesn't qualify.
Exactly. If you're telling me that at bare minimum the difference between PG and AD is 10 spots, that's crazy when neither one of them didn't play enough games. That's crazy.
Are we gonna get on swiping for Harden now? Is it that time now?
How's that a bad?
Bro, Harden is fine. Okay,
that's a horrible take. What did Harden do in the playoffs to be top 16?
Is Harden? Did Harden just all of a sudden?
Hey, Shub, I want to ask you this.
The whole talk of the first round was, when is Harden going to show up again? He's washed. He's all this. The second round, no show. When Embiid
You're comparing him to his former self, though, instead of the fact
that's what I'm saying. You're not comparing him to the rest of the league. Harden was
is James Harden not still an all-time great passer and playmaker?
He didn't make the All-Star disappear. We're talking about this past season.
Yes, he's still an all-time great playmaker.
Wait a minute.
I ain't gonna hold you. That first round.
He did make the All-Star team.
But that first round against Toronto, Harden was just he was kind of just bad. Period. Like,
what was the narrative during that Sixers series? Is Harden going to show up again? All this type of stuff. When Embiid was out, everyone was banking on Harden, and he did not show up for the majority of those games. Embiid had to come back.
Wait, hold on. James Harden and Embiid, did they play 24 games together or something like that? There was also a whole other portion of the game. But before that, what? No, that's not what I'm saying.
Don't start that.
What I'm saying is, if you look at what he did, even with Brooklyn and then including what he did with the 76ers, James Harden was excellent for most of that run. He did not shoot well in different spots. He had excellent relative to the rest of the NBA. I'm talking about James Harden.
Bro shot 40% from the field, and we're giving him top 16. Top 16 for shooting 40%.
James Harden was top 16.
Lonnie Walker, the fourth, shoots better than James
Why
Harden.
are we ignoring his playmaking?
What I'm confused about, Shub, what I'm confused about, Shub, is that, like, for one, you're completely ignoring his playmaking, and two, like, look at the guys. Let's look at the guys below him for a second, right? Paul George missed games. I don't even think he should be really on here. Whatever.
Then
you look at the other tier. We had Ingram.
Here we go. I'll bring it back.
Cat. You have Ingram,
Cat,
Cat, and Siakam.
Cat was better.
Siakam. First of all, Siakam first half of the season was struggling. Cat in the playoffs. You talk about playoffs. Cat was struggling to back down Dylan Brooks. Brandon Ingram missed games, and on top of that, actually, Brandon Ingram's not that bad. He could be a little higher.
Why are we ignoring?
No. The real question is this:
who would you have him below?
I'm about to tell you. How wide of a gap was it between Garland and Harden this year?
That's what I'm saying. A little bit.
That's what I'm saying. I'll put Harden between.
But no, but you still have to value. I still value the fact that, like, I don't know why y'all shrug this aside, but the dude played bad in those playing games. Like you can't just ignore that. When his team had a chance to make the playoffs, he didn't play that well. Like if you're, and I'm talking to Shub because I'm not Harden about playoffs.
Tell me the number one narrative during the Raptors and Sixers series.
What does that mean, though? What is that supposed to mean?
Who cares about a narrative?
No. Not the narrative. What was the talk about?
Well, they beat the Raptors, though. But wait, hold on.
Do narrative conversation with the Lakers.
But Harden,
do that right now.
Shub, hold on, Shub.
But what is that? Why does that matter?
Wait, Shub, wait a minute. Hold on, real quick, Shub. Harden also helped close out that Raptors series. So let's not pretend that he didn't also help close out that series. He did his job in that series.
In a blowout game,
one game in a 6-man series.
That's what I'm about to say. We applauded because he shut up.
I don't like that. No.
What?
That was the closeout. Everybody was saying they were going to blow a 3-1
run away from this question.
Lead.
Shub asked what was the number one narrative. You know what it was? Doc Rivers about to blow another 3-1 lead. That was the biggest narrative.
3-0 lead. 3-0 lead.
Who was the proponent of him blowing that lead? Who was the proponent of blowing that league?
Okay, Shub. So he gets no credit for showing up in the closeout game and dropping 22, 15, and 6.
I'm sorry, 58 showing up for one game out of 11 when you're an MVP candidate 3 years prior. You get credit for that?
It wasn't one game out of 11.
That's not true. He actually played. He played.
Harden played well.
Played well. Okay,
but I don't. Yeah, it's not one game, but Harden did not play well in that series. It's not like he did not play like a basically a top 15 player. Y'all, is that what y'all saying?
He's not top 16 though. He's 16.
Fine. He's top 16. Fine.
Yes, there we go. Yeah,
he played like a top 16 player.
Wait, hold on. Time out.
I don't even think some of these. I don't think DeMar should even be this high, bro.
Time out. Listen.
Did you see? Hold on. Before you
did you see?
Harden is a top 25 player.
Hold on, Shub.
16. No way.
Shubs. Did you see what he did? Did you see what Joel Embiid elevated to when he had James Harden on the court with him in those last 23 games? He averaged 33 and 12 and 3 on dumb efficiency, a 61% true shooting.
Scoring combination in the NBA.
Mind you, Maxey as well. When Harden was getting hit with those double teams, Maxey was benefiting like crazy.
They said that. No, listen. They said that. They said Tyrese Maxey.
What does that mean, Lo?
Listen. They said Tyrese Maxey was becoming a star next to James Harden, and he was. He was averaging over 20 for a while next to James Harden.
Wait a second.
I'm fine with the Harden. I don't really care too much about Harden, but they replaced him with somebody that wasn't playing. So yes, any competent playmaker was going to make those two look better because there were no other competent.
I just want to say,
wait, better, bro.
I can close James Harden.
He gets no credit for doing that.
What I cannot let you do is hype up Tyrese Maxey right here, right? Because remember, Tyrese Maxey was actually playing well before James Harden. He went to another level with James Harden.
Not to that level.
He was still playing at a super high level without James Harden.
We're talking about a person that was a scorer and a playmaker evenly, and now we're rewarding someone who is a full-time playmaker individually. He is not a scorer anymore. This is a fact.
He's still a scorer. He's still a scorer
in his game.
He's still a scorer.
He's a great playmaker, which is why he's top 25.
Tyrese Maxey.
Can somebody tell me what's the difference between Harden and Garland? Can somebody say
wait a minute. Let me read this.
Harden a better scorer than Jalen
Tyrese Maxey.
Tyrese Maxey. Listen. Darius Garland.
Hold on.
I'll say that.
Tyrese Maxey next to James Harden. Hey, Shub.
Harden a better scorer than Jalen Brown.
Hold on.
Here you go, this Jalen Brown.
Tyrese Maxey averaged 18, 4, and 2 on 51 or 52 50 and 87 next to James Harden in the 21 games they played together. He shot 50, 50, and 85 next to James Harden. Why do you think that was? He wasn't doing that when he didn't have James Harden. He wasn't doing that without James Harden. James Harden make that much of a difference next to him.
Swiper. Can I bring up something real quick?
Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
The 76ers.
Don't shove dominate the conversation. Go ahead.
The 76ers before the trade had a league average offense. They were good. They were a good team. They had a league average offense. After the trade, they had the highest offensive rating in NBA history to finish out the season. They had a 121 offensive rating with Harden and Embiid on the floor, 126. When Harden got there, his playmaking took them to not just a new level. They were in an entirely 2 or 3 different tiers.
Yeah, playmaking matters that much.
Alone, it matters.
And I'm even looking at it. You're right, because even in the minutes like Joel Embiid's not there, like when Harden's on the court. During the regular season, 122 offensive rating, off the court, 112 offensive rating. Like when he's there, and that's why I don't even like what Lo said about the whole. If you put any competent playmaker, he's not just a competent playmaker. He's one of the greatest playmakers of all time. He's taking an offense that's okay to all time level whenever he's on the court.
He's really not at that same level that he once was before.
Right.
Embiid.
That's not fair, bro.
He's not the same playmaker.
But Lo, you're comparing elite to a different level of elite. It's still elite.
Right,
Their playmaking, its playmaking is still elite. Regardless.
I'm not. Like I said, I'm not that down on Harden where he's at right now. I'm still waiting for the nigga to tell me what's the difference between Garland and Harden, and nobody's not responding. Even if you want to say that the Harden is a better playmaker, does anybody believe the gap is so wide that it's a difference between the 16th spot and Garland being 23rd or 22nd, whatever he was?
I was already saying Garland should have been higher on the list, but to me, if you're talking about James Harden versus Garland, I would say the biggest difference is Garland is a bit more portable off the ball than James Harden, but I still think that James Harden is a better passer than Darius Garland.
How many guards?
Wait, just real quick. Who did they face when Harden got there? Who did they face?
The Timberwolves, Minnesota Timberwolves, the first game.
The rest of it. What was it?
I don't know the overall.
I'll tell you. It was two Knicks games. Oh man, that's great. Cleveland, I think without Jared Allen, that's amazing.
Didn't they face Minnesota?
Chicago, he said it. He started off with them. Chicago, that's amazing. Brooklyn, oh man. What Orlando? Wowzers! Wowzers! Orlando
was actually not. They're actually a solid.
Yeah, Orlando had a number 6 overall defense in the NBA past the All-Star.
A lot of their players got hurt, and a lot of their players were suffering injury. They were actually a solid defense.
Orlando, okay, wowzers. Cleveland again. Dallas is a competent defensive team.
Competent?
Competent is crazy.
They were the number 4 defense in the NBA, but all right.
And to be fair, they don't have no big. They don't have no big though.
They actually don't have no big.
Number 4 defense from January on. But sure, go ahead.
The Lakers. Oh man, you're really
LeBron James
there. Hey, show some respect.
Detroit.
Is Anthony Davis playing?
Detroit.
Katie Cunningham, Sadiq Bey.
Detroit, Charlotte, Cleveland, and I want to say that might have been Cleveland. Let me see if Cleveland was Jared Allen playing.
Cleveland still had a decent defense.
So Jared Allen wasn't playing these games. And in one of these games, Jared Allen didn't play, and neither did Evan Mobley. It was fucking Larry Marketing and goddamn Carr out there.
Hey, Larry Marketing had a pretty good defensive season for
Indiana twice, another Detroit game in Toronto. Y'all are right. Hey, you got it.
Hey, first of all,
thank God Harden was able to elevate them to a great all-time great defensive unit against mid defensive teams. You're right.
Wait, what?
I want to talk to you real quick, Lo. Here's my question.
With James, with Joel Embiid on the team.
Hang on, Lo. Do you know what the most efficient, by the numbers, like scoring combination was in the NBA this year, even though they didn't even play that many games? When James Harden was with Joel Embiid, that combination in the pick and roll was at the top of the league. So what I'm trying to get you to understand is, even though James Harden's shooting numbers, oh my God, bro,
I can find a 20-game sample size of like Jamal Murray and Jokic also doing the exact same thing. That's not a depiction of
okay,
what
yeah,
Jokic is literally-
all time offensive player.
Jokic is all-time player.
There he is.
You're
What
not
do
even
you
helping
mean?
the case.
What do you
Jokic
mean?
is literally an all-time playmaker. What is
I
that?
knew Cyber.
No, it's one.
Wait a minute. Hold on. So that's like saying, oh, he's in a defensive pairing next to Bill Russell, and the defense elevates, and so somehow like we're slandering for that. Yeah, your defense is going to elevate.
No,
when you're next to an all-time defender like that.
I'm not slandering. I'm acknowledging that yes, having a playmaker alongside Maxey and Embiid was going to elevate them, especially because Ben Simmons wasn't even fucking playing. So I'm acknowledging that. What I'm asking is that so valuable that the gap between Harden and Garland is that wide? And also, would it not be okay to knock him down a spot or two? I'm not that mad at where he's at.
Who had better? And again, this is a question for the group. Who had better rim pressure last year? Rim pressure in terms of.
I was gonna say that's the big problem with Garland right now is that he is not a good finisher at the rim at all. Not a good finisher. When you struggle to score in the most efficient, the easiest shot in basketball, that little gap becomes a lot more valuable on a contending team like that.
You know,
Garland doesn't even get to the first goal line.
I don't understand why someone someone is getting rewarded for being a lesser version of themselves and declining. Yes, he's great for the Sixers because he's an elite playmaker and sitting that.
He was a top 7 player. He would be a top 7 player.
He just dropped 10 spots, bro.
I'm not being salty. He's a top 25. James Harden is a top 25 player. But
you're acting like he didn't drop.
He was a top 7 player.
Spots.
He was dropping like 10
player,
spots.
Bro. And mind you, this is a list that doesn't have Kawhi, doesn't have Anthony Davis. Cat's
crazy.
No. Okay, I would put Cat over Harden.
But I wouldn't mind bumping down Harden 2 spots to around Ingram and Cat.
You're tweaking, Shub. You're tweaking on that.
Ingram was better than Harden, no question.
I wouldn't mind putting.
No question is a stretch, bro. How can you say that?
But PG got to get out of here. That's a
you know.
Low. You're talking about the spot.
Wait, hey, Mustard. You know why he's capping? Because if James Harden was a replacement for Russell Westbrook this year and he played for the LA Lakers, they would have cleared. They would have absolutely cleared. I don't want to hear that, bro.
What?
They wouldn't be in the situation they were in.
No, they wouldn't be in the situation
they were in. Austin opinion of White Cam does not represent the thoughts and opinions of Get to Next Place.
We would have cleared the trade. We would have cleared.
They at least would have been fighting for a playoff spot for real. I don't want to hear that.
We would have cleared the trading deadline because he would have forced his way out. That's what we would have cleared. We'd have cleared the trading deadline. He would have quit in the middle of the season.
Kyrie wasn't on that team. All right. Let's move on.
He would have quit in the middle of the season like he did. And
let's talk about that trade.
I like the narrative talk. I like it.
We're not even bringing up Chris Paul. Y'all think Chris Paul's too high? Y'all think Chris Paul's too high?
Y'all can feel that way.
Because they barely ran pick and roll.
There's no narrative for anything. I didn't mean to say narrative. I said what we were discussing in the first round series and the second round series for the Philadelphia 76ers was, are we going to see James Harden step up next game? Did he do that in some of those games?
Bruh.
Yes, he did that. He did that to save them from being eliminated. But it was very ample games where James Harden performed both equally as a scorer and as a playmaker for that team to advance to the next round. They needed Joel Embiid to come back, and James Harden couldn't perform and beat Miami. And that team wasn't
What you keep I feel like the disconnect here is you keep comparing Harden to his old self.
Thank you.
Look at what you just said. Look at what you just said. Look at what you did. You said all the things you said. I can't believe somebody drops off from what they were and we still have them in the top 20. And then you also said, what were we talking about in the series? We were not talking about Harden playing horrible in the series. We were talking about, man, when are we going to see the old James Harden? That's what people were saying. That is not and even then, Shub, you're acting like this guy went out there and had the worst numbers of all time. This past regular season, he averaged 22, 10, and 8. Those is what he put up.
As a playmaker.
Those are great numbers. Those are great numbers for any player, not just a playmaker.
And also,
great numbers.
James Harden is top 25, no question about it.
I'm not gonna lie, y'all focus on the wrong. And listen, y'all are focused on the wrong playmaker.
George is the one
playmaker. Can we get to Chris Paul?
And Chris Paul is also way too
Chris Paul at 13.
He's too high.
Chris Paul at 13. Swipe again.
Swipe. Explain
Chris
that
Paul
one.
at 13.
Explain Chris Paul, bro.
So Chris Paul again, depending on
I dare you to say rim pressure.
Chris Paul.
I dare you to say rim pressure.
Chris Paul was one of the top 10 MVP candidates in the NBA before he went down with that injury for that 12 or 15 game stretch without Devin Booker. Chris Paul was the best player on that. He did. He did. Wait. Are we really going to sit here?
Devin Booker in your top 5?
No, are we really? No. Listen. Not voting for people. So are we really going to sit here and act like Chris Paul? Are we really going to act like Chris Paul wasn't that kind of dude? We really going to act like he wasn't like that for the first 50 years.
He was a top 10 MVP candidate. He was top 10.
Top 10. We're running out of names, so I really don't mind that. It's just Paul George shouldn't be on this list. Swipe up.
All right. Let me move on. Let's move on for the second time. All right. Tier 4B. We're moving on to Tier 4A. Tier 4A has Ja Morant, Devin Booker, and Trae Young.
Right here. This is that
Ja Morant, Devin Booker, and Trae Young. Absolutely. Ja Morant, Devin Booker.
Ja Morant this year, bro. Stop that shit, man.
No. Listen. You can put whichever you want at 11 or 12. I think they were around the same tier this last season. This last season, I think they were on the same tier as players this last season. That I have this is my issue with it. The only in Trae Young, if he had a better squad around him and had a better season overall and didn't flame out in the playoff, has an opportunity to be even higher on this list. But because of what happened with the rest of the team,
why are we giving him hypotheticals in his favor?
Listen, I'm not even done. Chef, I'm not even done. Devin Booker was excellent this entire year. He elevated as a playmaker this season. Defensively, he was much better than he's ever been at any point in time in his career. His on-ball creation, his rim pressure, his mid-range game was elite. I don't even think Devin Booker deserves to be on here in terms of projection going forward.
Yeah, Booker's rim pressure. You're guessing.
It wasn't elite. It was better. It was better than what it had been. It was better than what it had been.
Wait a minute.
Wait, hold on.
Let me make the argument for you because you fumble your own bag. Let me help you out.
Go ahead.
Devin Booker became a much better three-point shooter than any of his other prior seasons. He was playing at a very, very strong level in that. When Chris Paul,
it was his second best three-point shooter too.
Cool. I'm sorry. When Chris Paul went down, Devin Booker was able to help carry the load for that Phoenix team. He was able
that was
to
like 5
show
games,
many
bro.
strides and
15,
and all that is good. But the biggest reason why is at least he's played more games than Ja Morant did this season.
That's the reason.
You got to go to hell.
I
would assume so.
I don't have a problem with
how many games do you think it was?
I'm pretty sure he played 68 games.
Yeah,
what's the difference? How many games do you think
I'm not too mad at this?
64. I think 64 to 68.
I think Ja played like what 60.
Yeah, I think this is a perfect tier.
I would switch Morant and Trae just based on playoff performance, but that's just whatever.
I think this tier is 100% acceptable.
I would just switch Morant and Young.
I don't mind it.
Trae played 78 games.
I got Ja for D-Book.
Yeah, I got.
And bro, since we're doing this, I want to name some of the teams that Devin Booker led the Suns over when they didn't have Chris Paul. The Thunder, the Pelicans, they lost that game. I believe no Brandon Ingram, by the way. They lost to Utah. They beat Portland. No Damian Lillard, the ones that tanked. The Knicks, who cares? They lost to the Bucks. They beat Orlando. They beat Miami. I can give the. I'm not even.
I like how he just.
They beat Miami. Am I supposed to be impressed that they beat Miami with no Victor? Not even Victor Oladipo.
Stop! You're dragging it.
No, Jimmy Butler. I meant Jimmy Butler.
No! They beat Miami.
No, Jimmy Butler.
That's better.
They beat Toronto. No, they lost to Toronto. I'm sorry.
Lost to Toronto. Yeah.
Lost to Toronto. They beat the Lakers.
Just so you know, Ja Morant played 57 games.
They beat the Lakers. Congratulations. They beat the Pelicans with no Ingram. They beat the Rockets.
I would have Ja Morant higher on this list, but the game is played.
I ain't gonna lie, Mustard kind of spitting low key.
And they beat the Kings.
They did not beat nobody. They didn't beat nobody.
They didn't beat nobody. Their most impressive win is my.
And then the Pelicans went. The Suns went into the playoffs without him and basically won an entire series without him.
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that.
No,
as soon as Devin Booker went out, it was in question. It was in question, and then when he came back, they won.
But they won though.
Low.
With him on
Are
the
you going to
court.
sit here and tell me that you were watching that like, damn, they need him back? They put him back in the game because they needed him.
No,
They needed him to win that series.
Hey,
they won.
Yes.
Dude, Chris Paul literally had a perfect game, bro. Stop it.
That's what I'm saying. They
And then what happened the next? No. I'm sick and tired of this Chris Paul shit. What happened the next game? He had a perfect game.
No.
What happened in the next game, Mustard?
He won. No, wait, stop, bro. He won.
Ingram is him.
They won two out of 3 games that D Book lost, and then which means they already had a 3-2 lead. Then they came back in the final game, and that's the perfect game that Mustard is talking about.
Final game. That's the game that you have to win. That's the game that
Chris Paul won that game. Not
I'm gonna say
D-Book,
Chris
bro.
Paul won that game.
Chris
Not
Paul
D-Book.
won that game.
Okay, wait. No.
He only shot 14 to 14.
So
that's what I'm saying.
So now what we're going to do is say, based on the play, no. They felt like they needed Devin Booker's presence on the court to win that game. Because simply having a player like that,
hear that shit, man.
takes pressure off of Chris Paul. It does. Am I lying? Am I lying about that?
Chris?
So we're giving him credit for being a decoy.
I've never in my life heard somebody say somebody who shot perfect from the field.
I'm saying,
Perfect.
bro.
Is not more is not exponentially more valuable than somebody who gave them 13 points.
Why did they bring Devin Booker
12?
back, Lo? Why did they bring Devin Booker back for that close?
So he gets credit for being a decoy?
Why?
Is that what you're doing right now?
No.
Why not? But why not?
Willis Reed does. Hey, wait. Willis Reed does. Why did he get credit? Willis Reed did.
Hey,
Why not? Then
57 games
but
against John Moran is nasty.
But that's like arguing.
57 games versus 68. Yes,
it's 10 games. 11.
And mind you, since we want to do this stretch shit, what about the stretch where D-Book went out and the Suns were still maintaining?
Yeah,
we're doing
12 games. 12 games. Yeah, Chris Paul was excellent. Chris Paul was excellent.
Did John not elevate his game in the playoffs?
I'm going to say John Morant in that
Ja played
Warriors
well
series,
versus the Warriors versus the Minnesota series.
In the Minnesota, he
wasn't.
He was spotty.
Yeah, he was flummoxing all
That's
over.
what I'm saying.
John
Ja Morant and Devin Booker, you can actually compare their playoff performances because they both had drop-offs and highs, in my opinion. You can say that.
But I don't see a case where Book is better than Ja. I'm just going to say
I don't see that either.
That's nasty as hell.
But it's fine. It's one.
I see it. I see the argument, but I don't necessarily agree with it.
There's no way.
Because
let's be honest. Old dude cost them that series more than anybody. Devin Booker, he cost them that series against Dallas more than anybody else.
Cost them the series against Dallas?
Yes, he cost them that series. Yes.
No way in hell.
Him and Chris Paul sold, but
no. You was just gassing up Chris Paul.
Hey, I'm not gassing Chris Paul.
Nobody was gassing Chris Paul.
Nobody was gassing.
Nobody was gassing Chris Paul. Nobody was gassing that nigga.
Mustard, don't cap.
Just because I give him credit for shooting 14 of 14, I'm gassing him? No, I'm
How
not
can you
gassing
say
him.
Devin Booker
John's second best player?
He did because he in the last 2 games he shot 9 of 31. Well, they got blown out by 60 in the first half.
Both of them.
Devin Booker more than Chris Paul? You think?
No,
CP3 is Devin Booker not the better player?
Oh, he is. He is.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me how y'all put these expectations for Chris Paul to be the one that carries the team.
Player,
and he's the lesser player and the older player with more mileage on his body. Like, why do y'all do that? I don't get why y'all do that.
It's fine. I just think John Morant is better, but I want to see you got LeBron.
John Morant.
Let's see LeBron at number 9.
John Morant's second best player.
Here we go.
Playoffs switched every time. I'm just gonna say.
All right, so this is
John Morant. Let's get that LeBron at 9, man. Let's see that LeBron at 9.
We have tier 3.
Let's see that.
AB?
Jimmy Butler at 9, Kevin Durant at 8, LeBron James at 7, Jason Tatum at 6. This is tier 3. This is tier 3. This is where Kawhi Leonard would have been here. Yeah,
Tatum,
I think Tatum
at 6, bro.
Yeah, I think Tatum would have.
Why are we disrespecting KD like this? Why are we disrespecting?
Because he flamed out. That's why,
bro. No.
This is wait a minute.
Why are we doing this?
Let's keep that same energy. Let's keep that.
Wait a minute. Listen. Let me explain it. Jimmy Butler wouldn't have been near. Jimmy Butler would have been near here unless they without that playoff run that he went on. Jimmy Butler was incredible through the playoff run. He was incredible through the playoff run, and then he played.
I have no problem with that.
And still went on. Kevin Durant was also hold on. Kevin Durant was also great during the regular season, but I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I am not gonna lie to y'all. That flame out versus the Brooklyn Nets was horrible. Was absolutely horrible. I'm sorry.
It was bad.
That was horrible. So for that alone, bro, I think if you put LeBron James 35-5, who shot 60% from two over the course of the regular season, as one of his best offensive seasons as a scorer throughout his career on 35-5, was excellent through all of those games. I put him above Kevin Durant, given that, and I absolutely fully in my heart of heart believe that if LeBron James was playing for that Brooklyn Nets team this season and they were playing against the Boston Celtics, he would not have ever went out sad like that. That was horrible. I've never seen a superstar.
So why is he
like
not
that.
just 9? Just 9.
No, I think LeBron was really good this year. I think LeBron was great next year.
No.
Let
Put
me ask
Durant
you
at
this
9. Put Durant at 9, man.
Wait, you have no 10. Can you explain the 10?
But Swiper, let me ask you something.
It was Trey. It was Trey Young.
But let me ask you this though, Swiper. How is it okay? Because I see Tatum at 6. Yeah, that means you think Tatum's a borderline top 5 player, which is.
I mean, he played 76 games. He played a lot of games.
I don't give a fuck how many. I don't give a fuck how many games.
He was a 28. He was a 28.
Okay, he played 1,000
games. Should matter. No. But I think games should matter when one player plays 76 and one plays 55. I think that does matter right now.
I don't care. He can play 1,000. That doesn't change.
But look, wait. He was a 28, 7-3 player who became one of the best defensive wings in the NBA. He was the lead option. Listen. He was the lead option on the best offensive and defensive team basically from January on. Jason Tatum became a superstar level player for the rest of the half of the year. He was one of the 5 best playoff performers in the playoffs until he got into the finals. Jason Tatum had his best career.
I'm not terribly mad at that.
I'm not mad at it.
Okay, here's my thing though.
I just want Durant at 9.
You have Tatum at 6. Let me ask you something, Swiper. Do you think that Tatum and Jimmy Butler is a debate at the bare minimum?
In the playoffs, yes. Not in the regular season. In the playoffs, yes. Not in the regular season. But the regular season, Jimmy Butler was not good.
You don't think Jimmy was good in the regular season?
I think he was good, but relative to what these other players were doing, he was not at the level at those other players.
That's fair. But
Jimmy was still really good in regular season.
Jimmy was still good enough in the regular season.
Yeah, but he was in the top. He was in the top 10 player regular season.
No, that's fair.
He was not performing at the top.
I think Jimmy was good enough in the regular season. Then you add what he did in the playoffs against competition, like against a team like especially the Celtics, especially with a subpar roster. With a subpar roster.
Very subpar roster.
With a subpar roster against Jason Tatum's team, and you could argue outplayed him, especially in Game 6 and 7.
That's not an argument.
Which were the last 2 games. No, it's not even arguable. He did outplay him. Played better defensively in both the regular season and playoffs.
But that's the reason why Jimmy should be 8 over Durant. I don't Durant.
But my thing is Tatum's too high. Drop Jason Tatum.
But we're dropping him against LeBron, who basically missed half the season and didn't make the playoffs either.
LeBron was better than that nigga. What are we doing?
But it's just
matters, bro.
I can understand. Durant missed basically half the season, or missed like 30 plus games.
And then
went in the playoffs
the same amount of games
and flamed out.
Yeah.
Mustard, where I'm at with it is like it's not a secret anymore that Jimmy Butler doesn't care about the regular season. Like this is the 3rd year in a row where like his regular season, he's ready for the playoffs, so he doesn't get any. But where I think it's at,
Shep, can I give you the playoff stats real quick, bro? Because this shit is crazy.
They were amazing,
bro. Tell me how Jimmy Butler went from 21 a game into regular season on 48% shooting to 27 a game in the playoffs on 50% shooting and 33%. Nah, bro.
and that dropped. And then look, and it dropped from 30. And Gifted, and it dropped from 30 because of those injury games he played against the Celtics.
Yes.
And if you look at it like this, I think LeBron and Jimmy is more of a conversation because look at this: LeBron, amazing regular season, no playoffs. Jimmy, very subpar regular season, amazing playoffs. I think it's more of a conversation between.
And also Jimmy, in my opinion, out of all these players, was by far, and not going to say by far, but by far over LeBron and Durant, but just a noticeably better defender. I think that everybody on here, especially at a point of attack, was sensational in the postseason.
Yeah,
I think playmaking wise also favors him over Tatum as well, especially his ability to just collapse defenses. Tatum is still fine, 6'7". I don't really care. Durant needs to be 9, dog. He needs to be 9.
I don't know if I can dock Kevin Durant that far.
I want to ask the room
about
Kevin Durant.
My problem on this list, Swiper, is that
go ahead. Who?
Swiper is choosing how much to gauge regular season and playoffs based on each player. Like Tatum, we can clearly see like the playoff run. exudes the regular season too, and then everyone else it's not consistent. That's where I'm at with it.
I want to ask the room about Kevin Durant because I'm thinking of this from the perspective of the product of the player's skill set and what he provides on a team as opposed to just the raw performance. When I look at Kevin Durant now, I think he just clearly this season peaked as both a jump shooter and a passer. I think he kind of elevated himself to a new level in both of those areas. I do think
no rim pressure though.
He's lost a ton of rim pressure, and I would say he's lost a little bit on defense. He's still a quality defender, but what I'm thinking is if Kevin Durant improved in some areas from his past self, and you have him below a guy like Jason Tatum, you have to think Jason Tatum is somewhat comparable to peak Kevin Durant, and that just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah,
but you're only talking about peak Kevin Durant from in one aspect, which is the jump shot shooting and the difficult shot making. Because I believe his playmaking, I believe his handling, I believe his just
taking a step back for sure.
But I'm saying
I think all of that took a back. I think defensively he took a step back as well.
I think all of these things are just in a bigger light now. I feel like he's always had handle problems, always had playmaking problems.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that he was playing with Westbrook and Steph Curry instead of being the number one initiator.
No, I think this year it regressed. I think all of those things regressed.
I think the only real regression was the rim pressure, which I think matters.
But who?
You don't think defensively he got worse as well?
I think he's better defensively this year than he was last year.
Oh,
that's not saying that much.
But you, when you reference peak KD, I'm thinking
you're talking Golden State defense.
Yeah, he's like I agree. State defense.
I agree, but think about where KD was viewed last year. What's different between this year and last year? It was just the difference that he played the Celtics, who were more aggressive.
Yeah.
Then in Milwaukee, they played a drop against him. When you play drop against Kevin Durant, he's going to do what he did against Milwaukee.
That's why HB. I don't think right now anyone can have an objective conversation about Kevin Durant because it's how much do you factor in the playoff dropping that series? Because
right, I think a lot of that is more situational than what he's providing as a skill set.
People are just ready to slander Kevin Durant, so we're just going to use this series in which he got swept in because it's been over.
I think using a 4-game sample as opposed to Kevin Durant just providing the same skill set he has for years and improving in some important areas, I think that matters a lot more than just the 4 games where he did struggle. And I would like to point out that the Nets still had the best offense of any team the Celtics played in the playoffs. So it's not like Kevin Durant's shooting efficiency was that detrimental to his team's offense because they were still the best offense that played against the Celtics in the playoffs.
I think that, for me in this conversation, Kevin Durant this season, I'm with Hoop. I think his playmaking was probably the best it's ever been in his entire career. And the load that he had to carry with Kyrie Irving, okay, I focused on regular season for a reason. You heard me say regular season, correct? All right. So when Kevin Durant when KD was in the regular season,
talk to me like that.
Right? The Harden situation and the Kyrie situation, they were dealing with a depleted roster to where Kevin Durant was playing with way lesser talent and they were still eking out wins. Then when he gets hurt, they drop severely. The argument for KD being lower for me more than anything is his availability compared to the players higher than him. Jason Tatum, regardless of what you want to say, still played 78 games. That's a lot of NBA games to play for your franchise on top of elevating his play later on.
Here's the thing though with KD. Here's the thing with KD that I have an issue with and why I can't have many higher than this tier. And that's why I have LeBron above him. That's why I think you can make arguments for maybe Jimmy Butler. You could throw him in that conversation as well, especially consider what he did in the playoffs compared to KD. KD's playmaking in the playoffs was just it was such a drop off, and he got exposed for his lack of creation. He couldn't even go left. Yeah, he couldn't even go left. He got exposed for his lack of creation. And hold up, Boop. I get the Celtics were being a lot more physical with him, but that's kind of the point. A lot of the guys on this list, you can't bully them the way that the Celtics bullied KD. You're not gonna bully LeBron. You can't even double LeBron because obviously his IQ. Jimmy Butler is a better playmaker as well, decision maker. I mean, teams aren't really sending hard doubles at Jimmy anyway because of his shooting, his lack of shooting, and things like that. Jason Tatum, same thing applies to Tatum. I don't think Tatum should even be over KD as well. But anybody that can avoid the flaws that Kevin Durant showed in that Celtics series, I think should be above him because it was very clear that now going forward, that's going to be something that happens to him every single time. Because that Bucks series, it was clear, hey, we're going to let you just do whatever. We're going to put PJ on you in single coverage. We're going to have Brook drop back in the paint. You can pull up all the jumpers you want. But after the Celtics did what they did, and mind you, Kyrie was there. It's not like he didn't have another option on the team. And if you look at all the other players on that team, Dragic had some good games for his standards offensively. Bruce Brown. Let me finish. Hold up. I'm not trying to hate. I'm not trying to hate. Hold on. Wait. I'm getting to something here. I'm getting to something here. If you look at all the other role players on that team, they all did their part offensively. The problem was defense. That was the problem with that team.
It was.
And KD, he did contribute because let's not forget when Tatum made that shot at the end of game 1. Who was the one that let Tatum just backdoor cut him in order to get that shot? It was Kevin Durant. He just stood there at the free throw line like an idiot.
So that one play speaks for how bad he was.
Hey, that play cost them the game. That play and his defense wasn't that good either.
I think the criticisms of Kevin Durant are extremely valid. Like I agree with most of the things you're saying. I just feel like Kevin Durant as a player hasn't really changed enough from where he was in Golden State to drop him this much because
I drastically disagree with that.
I'm still under the belief that even with his loss of rim pressure, some loss on the defensive end, if you put him in a situation,
you think he's better than Jason Tatum last year?
Yes, I do, and I think it's because we're seeing Kevin Durant for the first time. This was the first time since 2013 that he was his team's primary initiator in a playoff series. That never happens. So that these flaws get shown a lot more. Kevin Durant has always had problems being a primary initiator. The last time we saw it was in against Memphis, the grit and grind Grizzlies, where he was like averaging 6 turnovers or whatever. Kevin Durant has always had these flaws as a primary initiator. He's just always had someone to take the load off him or initiate the offense instead. So I think because we saw Kevin Durant in a situation where those flaws come to light, he gets dropped a lot more than he probably should. And I think in a situation like Golden State, he would be able to replicate what he was already doing before the injury.
Wait, I get your point to venue, but I got one question, right? Can't you also argue though that given the situation in Brooklyn this year with Kyrie and Harden being in and out of the lineup, Kevin Durant was given the opportunity to kind of show those playmaking, skills to where this looks like his best playmaking season compared to him actually reaching a level where he doesn't go down, because in the playoffs, he didn't show those same types of reads as much as he peaked in the regular season. Is that not fair?
No, I agree. And I think Kevin Durant is definitely a better regular season playmaker than playoff playmaker because teams in the playoffs look to exploit any advantage they have. Kevin Durant having a loose handle because of his length, him not being the quickest processor as a playmaker, you can make those things look worse. But I think when you compare him to other seasons, I think especially like the laydowns and the pocket passes to rollers, I don't think we saw that much before the injury. Whereas now you can legitimately say, give him a good rim runner and he's going to create a lot of opportunities at the rim. And I think we did still see some of that in the playoffs because, like I said, they were playing against the number one defense in the regular season and playoffs. And they yielded the best offensive rating out of any of their opponents. So it's not like Kevin Durant's, like I said, the efficiency.
That wasn't that wasn't because of Kevin Durant, though. They were doing. I mean, you can say it was because of the way that they defended Kevin Durant and they were leaving other players open. I don't think he created that. I just think that's how they defended him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think advantage creation is probably the most valuable form of offense, and I think Kevin Durant generated an advantage for his team for those role players to be put in positions to succeed at a very high level.
We just disagree because I don't think is if you're handling the ball. And I come if you hand the ball and I come and just double you or I'm just sending attention, you're not really manipulating the defense because that's how I wanted to defend you to begin with. If you're really manipulating it, the defense is forced to do something that they were not originally set to do.
I agree with that point.
You don't think Kevin Durant coming off of a screen, if he's coming off of a high pick and roll and going towards the free throw line, you don't think the defense is forced to react to that 60% mid-range?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it never occurred, but I'm saying majority of how they defended Durant in that series was more so on set and how they were going to defend him, which they knew they were going to give up other players scoring. That's how they wanted to do it. It's not like he manipulated them to do that. That's how they were going. That's how they set it up from the beginning. They were setting the game to let Bruce Brown beat them. Like that's how.
But that's what I'm saying. I agree, but I'm also saying because Kevin Durant is such a lethal scorer, they had to make a choice. They had to either let the role players score or let him get his.
But that applies to basically everybody.
But the choice didn't pay off offensively. Like I said, they had a better offense against the Celtics than any other team. Like you said, the problems were defensively. They didn't really work.
But I think you could take that risk, especially considering they can't defend you. You can take that risk to allow other guys to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because that was their game plan. And then on top of that, like I think a lot of what you're saying, I get what you're coming from, where you're coming from. But at the end of the day, if I'm not going to give you credit for falling into the team's game plan, because then you're not even stepping up beyond that. You know what I'm saying? Like the game plan worked so effectively, not only because he had to look into had to trust his teammates and like them to make shots, but he couldn't do that himself. And he has to get that blame because those other players on this list, or at least LeBron, right, and Jimmy Butler, you can't do that to them.
I'm about to say, I think
you can't game plan like that for them.
I think both LeBron and Jimmy Butler, to an extent, will more so force the defense, especially LeBron, would force the defense to manipulate, even with what's being thrown at them. I know for a fact Tatum also struggles in that aspect as well, though.
Tatum. That's why I said Tatum got to go. Tatum does struggle in that aspect to manipulate. I
think the only reason why I'm fine with Tatum being up there is again because the games played to me. Because I'm comparing games played based on the other players in this tier. He played the most games, and he had a extended playoff run where he was able to shine in a whole lot of spots. So
look, and again, just to be clear, Tatum, he was great until the finals too, man. So like again, I just want to make that clear. Like Tatum had his best year of his career. That from January through the Eastern Conference Finals, he had an argument to be the second best overall player in the Eastern Conference over that stretch. Argument. I'm not saying he was. Argument to be with Joel Embiid. I don't think he's better than Joel Embiid was. I think Tatum was doing everything, elevating his team offensively, defensively. His playmaking had also increased as well.
Oh, yeah, one of the best defensive Tatum's playmaking in the playoffs.
I don't think we've touched on Jimmy Butler's playoff run enough. Like I think that what he was able to do with the subpar roster and how they like dropped entirely. Like imagine a roster like dropping, not a player dropping, but their roster was
Bam Adebayo, man. Yeah,
his drop off.
Scam Adebayo, bro.
Tyler Hero was injured, but no show up. Max Strus was their second best player, bro, for multiple games that they came up with wins. And that kind of playoff run from that kind of player, we haven't seen a ton of in the last 20 years.
Yeah, it was great, but what does that do? Well, that elevates Jimmy Butler then from what 15 to 9. That's what I'm saying.
I'm happy. No. I'm happy. I'm very grateful he's on this tier. I think he belongs here, and I would even think if you want to put him higher, I wouldn't even be upset. But I think that I just wanted to show love to his playoff run.
I just realized this is extremely off topic, but you had Evan Mobley over Bam, bro.
Who?
He did?
You had Evan Mobley in honorable mention.
No, I didn't. He would be an honorable mention too. It was a short list. I only ran out of
didn't I say it? Didn't I say this man Mobley's overrated, bro?
I was gonna say,
niggas be putting Mobley.
I didn't say that. I never said that.
I'm being honest with you. If we were to drop, when we do drop Paul George, because it should be, I just think Bam should be highly considered.
Again, how many games did Bam play? How many games did Bam play?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Bam was strong in the regular season, but my goodness, in the playoffs, I really think he was.
I'm talking about like
Bam was pretty ass in the playoffs.
Every time quality starting centers were playing against Bam, he was awful. The minute he got a chance to play against backup bigs, he was dominant.
Okay, I actually still disagree because that was it. I'm about to say no, not just that one game, but even in the closeout game, people act like he was trash. Didn't he drop like 25 and 12 in the closeout game? He actually was very. He was the only other option.
Yeah,
he was the only other.
I don't like how when we talk about these. Some players, we overlook their flaws and go to their strengths. Like earlier, Gifted was talking about how people overlook Draymond's defensive value. Why doesn't that apply to Bam too? Who probably provides the most flexible defensive scheme in the league in the playoffs because there's no flaws.
And we all saw Draymond struggle to score. We all saw that.
As I'm saying, Bam's a much better scorer than Draymond.
Exactly.
Bam is
Bam's a better offensive player.
I forgot Gifted a Warrior. I forgot he a Warrior fan.
At least Bam can make a.
Bam is clearly a better offensive player. My issue with
Bam's a better player. Bam's a better player.
Comes down to his
better player.
Okay.
But his offense didn't show up.
Swiper, go ahead and show him that Curry at number 5. Show Jordan Curry number 5.
We're so off topic.
We're moving on to tier 2.
Go ahead and show Curry number 5, man.
Everybody get ready. Everybody lean in. Everybody lock in. Here we go.
Go ahead and show
we got tier 2, Joel Embiid at 5. We got Luka Doncic at 4. We got Steph Curry at 3.
I'm good with that.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Steph Curry,
I'm good with that.
Yeah, this is.
And the thing about
the
Joel
least
Embiid,
problematic tier of all, bro.
No, but look, the least Joel Embiid would have been higher. I think there was an argument Joel Embiid could have finished if he would have had if he would have been able to play throughout the playoffs like he did in the regular season. I absolutely fully believe that Joel Embiid could finish as high as 3 or 4. But I think again, based on the playoffs, he fell. But Luka and Steph Curry they just elevated
is so
all the way
unfortunate because he's really good, but every year in the playoffs he's compromised in some type of fashion to where it's like we can't fully evaluate how good or bad he played for real. It's hard.
All right, guys, y'all ready for the surprise of the night?
Listen,
no matter what argument you
give us, I'm taking Giannis over.
All I want to say is I think Steph is tier 1. I think Steph's a tier 1 player.
I think Steph's definitely tier 1. I think it's between Steph, Giannis, and Jokic.
I think Steph, Giannis, and Jokic is a tier.
Definitely is kind of.
I would throw Luka tier 1 personally.
So if we, this is the issue though. Is based on the regular season as well. I think that if Steph Curry, playoffs, whatever, I think he elevated his game. Did you think without the run that Steph Curry went on in the playoff, do you think that he was a top 5 player this last season? Just through the regular season?
Yeah, I thought he was top 5.
I thought he was probably top 5 in the regular season. Yeah,
borderline.
But around there.
Who was ahead of him?
I don't understand.
Steph is tier 1. What are we doing here?
Yeah,
wait. Swiper, who would have been in the top 5 if we take Curry out of here?
I think Luka and B would have been 3 and 4, and I think
but who's the 5th? Who's the 5th?
Yeah, I think Jason Tatum had an argument to be the fifth best overall player in the regular season.
You're trolling.
All right, no wait. My problem, right, is we love to say this, right? We love to say
Steph Curry worked himself all the way up to the number 3 overall player in the NBA based on the playoff run as well.
No,
but I also do think there's a clear tier for me.
So you thought Tatum was a top 5 player,
bro? Regular season. Regular season.
Wait a minute. No. Wait. Here's what I don't understand about you, Swiper. I want to make this point, right? How can you
say KD,
with James Harden, right? How can you acknowledge that you're holding James Harden to the higher standard?
Wait a minute. But playmaking is also what led him. Playmaking is also what led Steph Curry to be the player that he is, 1,000%. But if I'm just taking the whole regular season as a whole, I didn't want to pin a lot. Like, Steph Curry was great, but I think what Jason Tatum was doing in the Eastern Conference for his team was just excellent. That full across the entire season. Plus, he also was the game played as well. Because, again, that's just based on what they did in the regular season. Again, I'm not saying I would absolutely had him. Steph Curry was first-team All-NBA for me. But I just think that if you just put it all together, I think Tatum had an argument to be number 5 overall with Steph Curry. That's all I'm saying.
No.
That's me personally.
I just feel like, bro, I understand that his shooting dropped off in comparison to himself. But when you're shooting 38% on 12 threes a game, that's still at the very top of the league, and he's still creating advantages
at the top of NBA history. There's only 2 other players that have ever done that.
Full agree.
At the top of NBA history, bro. And then at the same time, wait. At the same time, if we're talking about playmakers, Steph Curry arguably had his strongest playmaking season on the ball this season too. Like I'm not understanding where all this comes from. And he was a positive defender this year.
When you talk about Steph Curry's improvements, he made 2 major strides. One, I think his handle peaked this year. There was no on-ball turnovers, where that used to be somewhat of a talking point, where he would sometimes make weird decisions with the ball. He had none of that in the playoffs, and he had by far the best season of his career from floater range. That was a huge thing in the finals. His ability to get to floater range and those short
all those in between shots.
Right, exactly. That wasn't something peak Steph was really doing. So when you talk about Steph, who maybe in the regular season slipped off a bit, but had one of his most complete playoff performances, I just don't see how he's not a tier 1 player.
And another thing
let's not forget about this, right? In the finals versus Boston, let's not forget, outside of game 5, Steph's shooting was at an all-time clip for anybody as far as his true shooting and his efficiency against the number 1 defense in the
nobody forgot about that.
I'm making sure.
I know you Warrior fans want to push that.
This nigga Swiper
Swiper Swiper
just dipped on his own
Swiper
screen.
just despawned.
Nah, that's hilarious.
He still stole a Finals MVP from Wiggs, so I don't even know.
Okay,
He's
shut
gonna
up.
sell
Oh,
Wiggins.
no. Yo,
Bro,
Swiper
there's no way
H-Jack.
Swiper just vanished. What the hell just
That
happened?
is crazy.
Swiper
Yo,
despawned,
I'm gonna be
bro.
honest with you, Gifted. Nobody forgot about that. Everybody remembered that he had only
Okay.
one bag in the series. Everybody remembers Swipe.
No. Low.
okay,
That's
back.
not the low. That's not the point I was making. The point I was making is the level of efficiency he was at before that game. It's still wild what he did, but that one game tanked his totals from insane.
We know,
that.
Gifted.
We
We
know that.
know,
We
bro.
Gifted.
We know.
I don't think y'all get no.
And it
No,
happens.
no,
The
no,
games
Gifted.
go out. We
Trust
get it.
me,
We get it, bro.
Trust
We get
me,
it, bro.
every day on Twitter I
He
get
missed
reminded.
like
Y'all
9
know-
threes in that game 5 and still shot over
Gifted.
45%.
I know that. I know.
That's crazy. Nah,
I know,
nah,
Bro,
Gifted.
we get it. We get it. Get
I
off
like
your
crazy.
knees.
Get
Get off your knees.
When I go on Twitter again tonight, I'm gonna be told how crazy it is once more. That's how crazy it is.
My
Still
thing
not
is though,
okay.
my thing
I
is
doubt
Swiper.
that. I
I
doubt
think
that
Swiper. I genuinely think you're putting a lot on Curry's shooting.
That's
He
fair.
did go
That's
down
fair.
this year.
That's
but,
fair.
But hold up.
That's
The
fair.
thing is though, Curry this year as an on-ball playmaker, I think this is probably like his best year. Like he was
His
very
best
good
year.
on the ball.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, defensively, like I wouldn't say he was amazing. He's not better than DeJounte Murray, unlike some people say. But like he was
No one
actually
hates the Warriors, by
good.
the way. Or
He
Steph
was
Curry.
solid. He was solid defensively, and in the playoffs, it was better while his shooting
Right.
got better. So I think he has to get like a lot of credit for that. But
I did.
you
And
have him at tier
I put
three.
him,
You do have him. Yeah, you do have him third, and that's fine. I don't mind him being a tier below the obvious
Tier
1
one,
and
though.
2.
I
I don't think he's as good as
one
I don't
player
think he's
clearly
as
to
good.
me.
Here's the thing: do y'all really believe that there's not a much of a gap between him and Giannis and Jokic?
That's
not,
what I'm saying.
like,
I
there's not
think
a
three is.
noticeable gap.
I think 3 is.
I think it's a
spot. I just think he
3-player
should be
tier.
a
I think
higher
there's a gap.
tier.
Yeah,
I think he should be a tier
I think
1.
there's a gap.
If he's
think
tier
all
1,
three
it's
of
tier
those
1
players, when
B
it comes
because
down
he's
to
not,
Steph,
he's not the
Giannis, and
same as
Jokic,
Gian-
they are in the same tier to me. I think they
I
can
don't-
at any
no,
point
man.
peak
I
as
agree,
players
Gifted.
and be better
I
than
agree.
each other.
Giannis and
I
Giannis.
strongly believe.
Oh,
that.
maybe peak better. I think Curry could peak a little bit better than Jokic sometimes, but I don't think he could peak as good as Giannis. I think Giannis
Why not?
is the clear.
Giannis
I think
is
Giannis
on
is the
tier,
clear.
bro.
We'll get to
Giannis
that
is
one.
the number one.
Giannis is the clear number 1.
Well, we already know. We already know who Swiper.
Wait,
got,
wait,
bro.
wait, wait,
Giannis
Hey,
is
Swiper,
tier
reveal your last tier though, so we
Wait a
can
minute.
get
Giannis
to
is
that.
tier 0.
I
Oh,
have
yeah, last
Giannis
year.
as number 1, but can we not do this thing where it's like, okay, because he's playing this way, like there's flaws in all 3 of those players'
That's
games.
not
Some
nobody's
good,
saying
some
that.
bad.
Nobody said that.
Okay.
Hey, reveal your last tier though.
The
Swiper.
implications-
For
the
Steph agenda in
implications-
July is insane.
No, it's
bro.
not.
Come
Ain't
on.
no
This is not a Steph agenda. I've been
Get
felt
off your
this way. This
knees,
is not no
Gifted.
agenda.
Swipe,
Come on.
Tweaking.
Swipe,
July.
Oh,
They
get off
won.
your knees. Get
Swiper,
off
They
your
go
won
and
already.
reveal
Come on
Jokic
now.
number 1, man. You
Of
know,
course, that
everybody-
shit buffering.
You already know what time it
We
is.
already know who number 1 is.
Also, we can see Giannis at number 1, bro. That's crazy.
I don't know why Swiper being quiet like he got Giannis 1. We know you don't.
We know you got Giannis too. Man.
Giannis
That
is tier
shit
0,
really
man.
buffering whole
It
time.
is buffering.
Though. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
That's
this
not
nigga
the
lame.
deal.
No, that's a cop out. That's a cop out. That's a cop
Hold
out.
on,
That's a
hold
cop
on,
out.
hold on.
That's a
cop
cop
out.
out.
You better retype that shit,
Hold
nigga.
on.
You better
Do
retype
it.
that.
Stand on it.
That's a cop out.
Put him
That's a
2.
cop
Stand
out.
on it. Put it.
Well,
Put
I'm
it.
That
about
nigga
to
said
say,
1A,
stand on that
1B.
Jokic.
Stand on
Stand
that
on it,
shit,
bro.
Stand
man.
on
No
that
AD
Jokic,
shit,
man.
bro.
Stand on that shit,
It's
man.
1-2.
Yeah.
That
Why you
nigga
talking
here
about?
for 1A,
That's crazy,
1B.
nah.
No, nigga, you not slick, bro. Stop it.
Stand on that shit, man.
You
It's
might as well
1-2.
just put Steph at 2 if that's
It's
the
one-
case. Nigga.
Yeah, Steph 2.
Facts. Yeah, you might as well do that. Yeah.
Steph the second best player there. We got 2 guys on one
That
slot.
shit is
So
so
now gonna buffer
nasty.
another for.
Like we don't know what it is already.
Shit, did we
That's
just
what I'm
vanish
saying.
off
I
the
do
screen?
not
I'm
like that
tripping.
1A, 1B stuff.
What is going
bro,
on?
we gotta change that up.
I have
It's
no
1-2.
idea, bro.
Yo,
I have
did we
no
just
idea
vanish?
what's happening right
I
now.
cannot see
Wait a minute.
nobody right now. Am I
I
tripping?
can't see anybody.
Oh,
Okay.
okay,
yeah,
I
there we
see.
go.
Okay.
Okay, better.
I was about to say.
I couldn't see nobody, bro.
You can't end on that horrible note,
chat,
Swiper.
put
Nah,
You
nigga,
can't
stand
do that.
on that
1A,
shit,
1B.
nigga. No.
Stand on your 10.
Stand
Stand on your
There we
10,
go.
bro.
Make it
Hey, yo,
one
There
hey,
we
yo,
go.
chat, put a 1 in the
Now
chat
listen.
if you want. You think
Listen.
Giannis is number 1? Put a 2 in the chat.
No,
You
no,
think
that's not how
Jokic
you're gonna
is
do it.
number
Because there's too many casual watchers in here. So here, listen.
No,
to this.
no,
Here's my
issue.
Here's my issue. Listen. I am willing to concede the fact that I think both of these players are the 2 best players in the NBA. I've been very clear
Everyone's
about
saying
that.
1.
I think-
Everyone's
I think-
saying 1.
It doesn't matter, but that's cool. But that's your preference. My issue is, I think there is a clear. I think there is a clear offensive gap because these fools, half these people don't really value Jokic's overall play.
There is.
People legitimately do not watch Jokic. They don't value what Jokic does. And listen. But look, there's no drop off from Jokic in the regular season or playoff. That's my only issue.
Now we talk overall play or offense, but for
what
Jokic,
do you mean? What do you mean? So wait.
Okay, Swiper. The gap defensively is more than the gap.
But that's my point.
Bro. You know
no, it's not. No, it's not. I don't want to hear this. I'm so sick of hearing that. No, it's not. But this goes back to the original point. Jokic played against the best defense. Played against the best defense. No, I'm not trying to. Hold on. I'm not trying to.
Chat on their knees right now.
Okay. I agree.
Jokic. Listen. Jokic clears Giannis offensively as a playmaker, as a shooter. But even from the 3 to 10 feet, what Jokic was able to do versus the Warriors and also in the regular season was literally all-time great. The man shot 60% from 3 to 10.
All of this is true. All of this is true.
Against no size. Against who? Kavani.
What do you mean no size? It didn't matter.
I saw Draymond locking up Jokic individually.
All I know is when that nigga ran into some real size in the playoffs, DeAndre Ayton was giving him the.
Now we're bringing up a year before. So don't bring up the Miami Heat. Don't bring up the Miami Heat and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Then that's what you're saying. Don't bring up the Miami Heat. Don't bring up that series.
You mean when Giannis turned? You mean when Giannis turned into an elite playmaker?
That's what I thought. He lost some series.
I'm not gonna lie, Swiper. He hasn't played with Eric Bledsoe. I'm not trying to hear that respectfully, Swiper.
I don't want to hear that.
He played with Eric
Bledsoe on the team. Your guy had to play with Facu Campazzo, and you playing about that shit.
I would much rather have Facu Campazzo than Eric Bledsoe in the playoffs, bro.
Okay, I don't know about that.
Swiper.
Go ahead.
Swiper. Okay, so here's my thing. I agree that Jokic is a clear offensive player of Giannis. I think he's better at most things offensively, and I think he can engine an offense at a level that Giannis can't get to. What I also will say is that you will never, and I mean ever, no matter who is on the court with him, see Giannis have a playoff defense that's ranked last. That would never happen.
But that's fine. But hold on. Time out. That's fine. But we're really going to sit here and act like you're going to hold Jokic to 45% shooting this season. 45% shooting in a whole series. Have a 51% true shooting in a series. He would have cooked the Boston Celtics. This year, we're talking about this season. Jokic had a down series, the one that you're bringing up versus the freaking Phoenix Suns. That man shot 48%. 48% was terrible on his own, standing on his own.
Sweep.
Of course, everything else is in the playoffs. Fine, I'm good with that. But we're talking about this season. Jokic averaged 35, 15, and 6 on 73% true shooting in the last 3 games versus the Warriors without anybody else on the court. And all 3 of those games were close when they had Aaron Gordon. Oh my gosh, bro.
I'm just saying their best player was coming off the bench.
You can't give Jokic this much of an edge offensively, but then just ignore the fact that defensively he can be exploited.
They're in the same tier. They're in the same tier.
I'm not
gonna lie, Jordan Poole was having his way, man.
Jordan
Poole was having his way.
Who better? But he got who better? He got the Looney couldn't play off. Listen. Looney could not guard Jokic. He couldn't play in the series because of what Jokic was doing to him. Wasn't getting any minutes whatsoever. Go ahead.
Who's better, Swiper?
Between who? I have Jokic. I have Jokic.
Okay, then you put the 1 and 2 there.
Well, you see it. But look. Listen. I want people to hear this.
It still says 1 and 2.
I want people to understand this. It has nothing to do with me thinking Giannis is somehow like not one of the Pantheon greats. He is. Like, he's a great player. But if you're at I know, but people in the comment section and Milwaukee fans are like, well, he said that Giannis has limitations offensively that Jokic doesn't have offensively. Well, yes, 1,000%. That's the point. An all-time offensive player next to Giannis. Like, yeah, Giannis has hold that Jokic would never dream about having offensively. But again, that's the difference for me between the two players. But again, if you want to make an argument that Giannis is the best player in the NBA, I have no issue with that. None whatsoever.
Right.
Because they're both in the same tier. They're both 2.
And Giannis's playmaking in the playoffs, really stood out to me at least. I don't know.
Yeah, he has a very strong playmaker.
He's a great playmaker, but
Giannis is great. Levels, Giannis is just amazing, man. Giannis is amazing, man. Great defender, man.
I just want you to own up to this Jokic being number 1. Just
Giannis is so amazing.
I'm fine. You see what
you personally don't believe
stand on that shit, nigga.
I do. No, listen. I do. I think both of those players have an argument. I have both of those players have an argument.
You're not standing on it because you got 1A, 1B.
This man had Paul George and Anthony Davis.
But we also just explained how Jimmy Butler might have an argument over Tatum. You had him 6 and 9, so make it 1.
And then you had the nerve to say that Steph was 3 and then put him in tier 2.
Nah, leave Steph out of this. Get Steph out of here.
I don't want to hear that. Steph belongs for
Hey, get Steph out of here. Get Steph out of here, though.
No. That's nasty as shit. Those 3 players are in the same tier.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
So
wait.
Listen.
Let's get to what people want to hear, though, right?
Let me know when Steph beats a healthy team, by the way.
Whose defense matters more?
No.
Wait,
don't nobody want to talk about Jokic versus Steph right now. Jokic isn't in this category.
Why are we doing that? Why are we talking Steph versus Jokic defense? That's a mid-off. We're not doing that. That's a mid-off.
Think about it.
You can make the same argument.
Curry should be on this tier. Curry should be on this tier.
Whose defense matters more in the playoffs?
What did Curry do to earn to be in the same tier as the back-to-back MVP and Giannis?
What did he do to earn it?
What? 4 years
What did he
straight.
do to earn it?
First of all, he won a championship. No. He won a championship. No, I love Curry, but bro, he won a championship. Okay, hold up. Okay, fine. I phrased that bad.
Whatever could he do? Whatever could he do to be a top player? Whatever could he do?
I phrased that poorly. But my point is, Jokic and Giannis have been playing better. Just because Curry has one playoff homer, yes, granted, he won a championship.
Did you see last season for Curry? Did you see last Curry?
No, but we're talking about this season. You can't say
this year he wasn't okay.
He wasn't in the championship.
I'm asking y'all niggas. In the regular season, was Steph on the level of Jokic and Giannis? Was it even close?
No, not even close. Not even close.
It was not even close. Hold up. Let me finish. In the playoffs, who played better? Steph, Giannis, Jokic. Were they on the same team?
What about impact? What about the way you impact the team?
I
don't want to hear no gravity shit right now.
I genuinely believe Curry, especially when it was all said and done, was playing on the same level as Giannis was in the postseason. I genuinely believe that.
He wasn't. You know, that's fine. We could agree to disagree. That's fine, bro. That's fine.
Bro, here's my only point. The reason why Steph can be in this team with these two players is the way that he impacts basketball.
Hey, Steph was missing layups all year. Steph was missing layups all year, bro. This is one of the
what happened in the playoffs? And then what happened in the playoffs on layups?
Oh, against
who? He finished in the playoffs.
Against who?
Against the same team Giannis was missing layups on. It was the same team.
Wait a minute.
Jordan Poole didn't have shots.
I got one question. What happened to Steph finishing in the playoffs?
Andrew Wiggins,
answer my question.
Guess what? No, shut up, Gifted. Hold up, Gifted.
You shut up because you're lying.
Andrew Wiggins was right there locking up Tatum.
I know you got the number.
Giannis had to go out there and play with Grayson Allen and George Hill.
What happened to Steph's finishing in the playoffs?
Bro, hold on.
What happened to him in the playoffs?
I'll get to that. He shot better at the rim in the playoffs. He shot better at the rim in the playoffs. But the thing is, this nigga Giannis, you just brought up the players. I brought the players he had. Andrew Wiggins was locking up Tatum. Tatum was going out there against the Bucks, scoring on fucking.
Andrew Wiggins was the second option as a scorer.
And guess what? I'm talking about the defense that Wiggins played on Jason Tatum as compared to the defenders.
And I'm talking about the overall roster. You can easily highlight one thing.
I am not saying that. I'm not saying that Curry.
No, because you said the team Giannis lost to. You said the team Giannis lost to.
No, I'm talking about it was disrespectful the way that niggas Giannis was missing layups against the Celtics.
That was
That's
insane.
one game. He was gassed, bro.
That's not one game. That was the whole series. That was the whole series.
Wait. Hold on. That was not the whole series. Hold on. Wait. So we're really gonna sit here, and this is my issue. Giannis in that game. Giannis in Game 6, 44. What was it? 44, 20, and 6. And then in Game 7, he had 25, 20, and 9 with Drew Holiday shooting like 9 of 25. Bro, he was. So this is my issue. This is my issue. That man was literally exhausted by the end of the series. Exhausted by the end of the series.
We're not killing Giannis for that. We understand that. But I'm saying for the entire series, when he got to the rim for open layups,
we're not even talking about defense here. We're not even talking about defense.
I acknowledge that. We acknowledge that Giannis is a more impactful and better defender. That's fine. But what we're saying is, you ask me, did Curry play on the same level as Giannis in the postseason? I believe so, especially as the postseason continued to progress, because he was playing what he was and the way he was impacting, especially for what that team needed in the finals and in the first round. He only really had one bad round.
So that don't apply to Giannis anymore.
I want to go. Hey, I want to go back to something Lo said earlier in this podcast. Remember what Lo said? Great players can truly bend a defense. He was fucking up Boston to the point where they said, you know what? Let's try.
Bro, that applies to Giannis more. That applies to Giannis more, bro. That applies to Giannis.
I'm sorry. They had to change the way they tried to guard Steph in game.
Giannis was bending their defense and their offense, so I don't even care about that. That applies to
Boston's entire defensive approach against Steph Curry changed in game 5, and they got blown out.
Who had a better postseason run?
What are you doing?
Bro, that's not even a fair question.
Oh my God. What?
That's not a fair question. The reason that's not fair because y'all niggas know. First of all, that's a lame question. By the way, that's a very lame question.
I know you don't like your swipe because he got bounced in the first round.
That's lame.
Wait. No, hold on. Time out. That's what I'm talking about, though. That nonsense right there. So you're telling me that if he had Chris Middleton on the court, that's how it would have looked. That's how the series would have played out. Chris Middleton on the court. And listen. If Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. are on that court, you think that's how the series is going to go? So no, that's my issue. That's my issue. No, listen. Time out. Listen. Hold up.
On his knees again.
When Steph Curry. Listen. Look. I'm trying to be respectful. I think Steph Curry is that type of player.
The same shit you say all the time.
Steph Curry is a great player. I think he deserves to be on this list. I think he's one of the upper echelon players in the NBA. But when Steph Curry was in the same situation as Giannis, are they making it past that second round? If Steph Curry was in the same situation as Jokic,
with Andrew Wiggins as the second scoring option. Andrew Wiggins was the second, bro. Andrew Wiggins was the second scoring option.
I love how y'all are just discounting the fact that even if you think that he's the second best player, Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, like Kevon Looney didn't have a 20 rebound game, wasn't the deciding factor in one of those games. Like none of that stuff matters. None of that stuff matters at all.
I wish Brook Lopez could get 20 rebounds, bro.
I have a very simple question. We saw this same Celtics defense go up against Giannis. They went up against all these other teams in the playoffs.
Without Chris Middleton on the court.
Wait a second.
That's a bad argument. No, shut up.
No.
You don't get to finish that point. That's a bad point.
I already acknowledged Chris Middleton was injured. Can I finish? I'm sorry. I already finished saying Chris Middleton was fucking hurt. If you would listen and relax, listen to what I'm saying closely and carefully. The point that I am trying to show to you here is they went into those series with a clear game plan. We're going to guard Jimmy Butler. We're going to guard Giannis this exact way. They did the same shit for Steph and say, you know what? We're going to play drop because by the numbers, there's no way he's going to be able to hit all these shots consistently. And when he was, they switched the game plan for game 5. And what happened? They got blown out in game 5. They go back to the same game plan in game 6. Guess what happens? They still get blown out because now there are other guys filling in offensively to fill in and score alongside Steph Curry to win that game. And that's with Draymond playing like shit in the first half of that series. Be honest.
Bro, I don't even want to hear this because this is so lame. First of all, you're excluding the fact the Nets can't defend their own shadow, so let's just get them out the way. Then you have
I'm not gassing up the Nets. I never gassed up the Nets.
No.
Did you ever hear me say Nets?
I'm talking about the game plan. I'm talking about the game plan. The game plan of letting KD doubling KD, all this, getting physical with them, all that shit. Fine, fair enough, right? They took KD out the equation. I'll give you that. First of all, KD played worse than Giannis. Notice he played worse out of all the stars they faced, right? I think we can all agree on that.
Yes.
Then they face Giannis, no Middleton. Giannis torches them, and they still go 7. Then they face Jimmy, no help. Jimmy torches them. They still go 7. Wow. I am so shocked that Steph Curry, with help, beat the Celtics.
Help.
Oh my lord.
Beat the Celtics.
Wait.
We're downplaying the Celtics now.
I'm not down.
That's what I'm saying. Why are we downplaying?
This is my issue. This is my issue. Hold on, Hold on, y'all.
You downplaying.
This is my issue. This is my issue. Why are we really going to sit here and pretend like Steph Curry was on the court by himself through the playoff? That's my whole issue with Warriors fans. Yes, you are. Time out.
Yes, you are.
You're sitting here acting like Andrew Wiggins wasn't great through the whole playoff run. You're sitting here acting like Draymond wasn't great defensively through the playoff run.
Talk about the roster construction around Steph Curry and how because of his greatness and what he does, how it's able to fit. I'm not downplaying anybody. I'm not.
That's what you're doing right now. That's
important. No. What I'm highlighting is the reality of the situation. The reason why their offense was able to get by the way that it was is because of the contribution to Steph Curry and how he impacts the other players on the
Andrew
court.
Wiggins was
That's
all-star,
his
by the way.
impact
Just
as a
remind you.
player.
Bro, I don't want to hear that shit because I'm so sorry that Giannis couldn't impact Drew Holiday to make layups. I'm so sorry.
I'm not taking away from Giannis. You're doing that. I'm not.
No, Giannis was doing those things you're saying Steph was doing. Giannis was doing while playing
and that's
better.
Why he's a
defense.
tier 1 player. That's why he's a tier 1 player, and he wasn't doing.
And then you throw in the regular season the gap, and Giannis is ahead.
No. How did Giannis do it better against the Boston Celtics than Steph Curry? Tell me. How did he do it better?
No, they're not the same player. Wait, time out. Wait. Let me get him. Let me get him, Musher. Let me get him.
Accountable to what he said.
No. Wait a minute. So wait. So you're sitting here talking. Wait a minute.
No. Omo just said it. No. You gotta wait. I'm holding Omo accountable for
what
he said.
I'll answer that, Swiper. I'll answer that.
Omo just said that.
My mic just came off.
Omo just said Giannis had a better impact.
I'll respond. Gifted. For one, Giannis actually plays elite defense. That's for one right there.
We were talking about offense.
But there's still a massive gap defensively. There's still a massive gap defensively.
There's a premium to
there's
the
another
defense.
side of the ball.
No, but Gifted, you said, but Gifted, to be fair. But Gifted, wait, let me speak. Gifted, hold on. I know, but Gifted, this is my thing. I'm not saying.
I know for a
fact.
But
listen, Gifted, this is my issue with this, though. People are really saying that Steph Curry didn't have any assistance in the Celtics series. If you want to say offensively,
that's
clear
not what I'm
Giannis
saying.
Did. I have no issue. I have no issue with that. But the issue is that Giannis Antetokounmpo did not play offensively better versus the Boston Celtics than Steph Curry did. I can agree with you on that. But the fact of the matter is, defensively, he changed the entire outlook of that series because of what he was able to do at the rim and as a help side defender over the course of the entire series, which what for me makes up that gap between the two players and why they're on two separate tiers.
Then you throw in the regular season.
That's the whole point. You throw in the regular season, you throw in the playoff. I think that Giannis is a clear tier ahead of Steph Curry as an overall player at this point in time in their career. It does not mean that Steph Curry cannot have a bounce back season where in the regular season he does what he did in the playoff and he's still able to elevate through the playoffs next year. Relative to the year, relative to Steph Curry, not to anybody else.
Bro,
relative to what Steph Curry can be at his peak.
Wait. Steph Curry's improvements in his overall game were very apparent for this season. The bounce back you're speaking of is literally shooting percentage. There's nothing else you can point to with him. Nothing else. You're just talking about shooting percentage.
My problem is, Swiper, how come when it's Jokic and Giannis being compared, you say, yeah, there's a defensive gap, but Jokic is this unprecedented offensive player.
No, I agree. He's great offensively.
But when it's Steph versus Giannis, you focus on the defensive gap and not.
Steph. Yeah, this last year, Jokic was a better offensive player for me than Steph Curry. That's not what he said.
I don't disagree.
I know.
No, he's saying your standards. Your standards are not.
That's not what Hoop Life said.
Yeah.
Who's Hoop Life?
Hoop Life.
I said Hoop Life, Hoop Venue. I'm passionate. My bad. Go ahead.
But what he said it still applies. Would you not say that the gap between you think there's a noticeable gap between Curry and Giannis offensively, Swiper?
Yeah. I think that Curry's a better offensive player. Yes.
No.
Do
you think that there's
a noticeable gap? There's a noticeable gap.
Okay.
That was also that you saw in the final series.
Okay, so why not then put him in tier 1?
I don't think that. I do not think over the course of the entire year that he was as good as those two other players. It's clear as that. Now you can say the shooting numbers, all that other stuff. I think that there's a noticeable drop off between those two players, 1,000%. That's across.
So
basically,
what you're saying, is that during the regular season, the offensive gap between Curry and Giannis wasn't that wide.
In the regular season,
what you're saying.
That's what you would have to be saying.
Wait.
No, I think defense. Yeah, go ahead.
No. In the regular, you're saying that in the regular season, the offensive gap between Curry and Giannis was not that wide.
No, I didn't. Why would I say that?
Because that would be the only conclusion to come to. Because you keep referring back to the regular season, they're not playing that well.
But defensively, there's a chasm between the two. I think that Giannis is one of the 3 or 5 best
between
defenders.
Giannis and Jokic.
Yeah, there's a chasm between Giannis and Jokic.
But Jokic.
I told y'all he a Jokic lover. Y'all know that. Y'all know he loved Jokic.
Wait a minute. But if he had a peak offensive season
that is
for
why
himself,
I opened the conversation with a simple question, right? I understand Jokic got better defensively, but still, Swiper, I want you to answer this question. Whose defense in the playoffs is more important? Jokic's defense as a center or Steph Curry's defense as a guard?
Jokic. I would say Jokic not surrounded by any comparable.
On that team, I would definitely say Jokic. But
you know what's crazy, Swiper? You know what's crazy? Even if Jokic doesn't have the most comparable defenders around him, Giannis is not. Giannis is not finna just allow his team to have the worst defense in the playoffs, like Hoop Venue said. It's just not possible. Even if he's by himself.
There are clear athletic limitations. There are clear athletic limitations, though.
Y'all let him off the hook. So
there is no letting off the hook. Jokic was a far better for me this year. Jokic was a better offensive player than Steph Curry in the regular season, and I would say defensively, there was also a gap where Jokic was able to do during the season as well. And the fact of the matter is, his front line with Monte Morris and Will Barton and freaking Facundo Campazzo.
I understand what you're saying, Swiper, but the
Swiper talking points are already coming,
the point that we're making though is that because it's not, we all agree Jokic is in tier 1. Right now we're arguing why wouldn't Curry be in tier 1. The only argument that you would have to make is that offensively during the regular season, Curry was not he's offensively was not good enough to justify him being in tier 1. Is that what you're arguing?
I don't think he was. I don't think he if Jokic, if there's a gap defensively, but no, because if there's a gap defensively between Giannis and Jokic, which we all have agreed, Jokic had to play that much better offensively to be in that same tier. Because the fact of the matter is he was that much better offensively than Giannis last year to make up that difference for me in many, many different ways. So that's why they're both in the same tier. I do not think the same case. I do not think the same case for Steph Curry.
So the only way that Curry could ever be in tier 1 is if he plays at like 2016, 17, or 18 offensive
only
levels.
If he shoots over 38% from 3.
Basically. Or 2020, or just 2020.
But what about this? Eli did bring up a good point. Jokic doesn't rise in the playoffs defensively. Sometimes he even gets worse. Correct?
Sometimes.
Sure. Yeah. Matchup advantage.
I'm being nice. I'm being nice.
Jordan Poole getting money, man.
I'm being nice by saying sometimes, but let's just keep it there.
I just don't think
Steph, if anything, actually rises defensively.
I don't mind Curry.
Yeah, surrounded by other elite defensive talent. My issue with that conversation is that Jokic does not have that talent around him. No. Listen, I'm not trying to move. I'm giving you context. I do not think that Jokic, without being surrounded by elite defensive talent, could ever be a good defensive player in the playoffs. I fully agree with that.
Because he's not a good defender. He's not a good defender.
Well, I want you to know, Swiper, situation. No.
Swiper,
I'm not trying to hate on Jokic or Giannis. I'm just saying they're in the same tier, bro.
I agree. I agree with what Swiper is saying, that Jokic lacks a lot of defensive help, but you also have to, like Gifted said, him being a center and having these defensive problems makes it so much harder to construct a good playoff defense.
Way harder.
So much harder.
Yeah, way harder. Because we all know rim protection is the most valuable.
A guy who can't defend in space but also can't protect the rim is just a lot of the time.
But relative to what he improves as an in-the-space defender in the regular season, you do know.
I get that, but the only reason why
in the playoffs it dropped. In the playoffs,
the only reason why people are hesitant about Nikola Jokic being the best player on a championship-winning team is because defense at the center position in this NBA against guards, people question that. That is the only reason.
Sure, but But I also do think that if you're able to fortify him with elite defenders, the offensive ability you would have as a playmaker and scorer would be so massive that even if you do take advantage of him defensively, offensively, he's going to cook every single person you have on the other side.
I'm not
of the
disagreeing
court.
with anything that you're saying.
But Gifted, I'm not arguing against you. My whole thing about Jokic in this conversation is I think that Jokic needs more protection because of the nature of his position. Fully agree. I do not think that defensively, unless he is able to take some Marc Gasol level leap defensively, he is not going to be in that situation to be able to do that. I don't think he's going to do that. But which is why you have to protect him more.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you how I look at this shit. Right, Giannis gives you a premium to what your defense does. Right, sure. Jokic can be passable. Steph Curry can be passable. I've seen Steph be a positive defender in the playoffs as well, but ultimately,
when.
This year,
I'm asking, this year. Yeah, but I'm saying, but no, Gifted. I'm not asking you like when, as in like when did he do it? I'm saying, but what did he have around him that allowed him to be a passable, good defender in the playoffs?
I'm not saying he doesn't have good or strong defenders around him, right? But here's my point: for the majority of his career, he's had people isolate him and attack him consistently, despite having strong defenders around him. Houston, they would always get multiple switches on Steph Curry all the time and isolate him as the weakest point. And he's shown that time and time again in the playoffs. He's able to get stops when it matters in crucial times. He did this all season long. He did it against Memphis. He did it against all these other teams in the playoffs. So what I'm trying to tell you is
against who on Memphis? Like Dylan Brooks and them?
He did play decent defense on Ja. He did do decent.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Swiper, that man Jokic better not. He better make it to the conference finals next year. That's all I got.
I'm telling you,
if he has a healthy roster, I don't understand this. If he has a healthy roster,
Swiper, I want you to look at me, bro, because what I'm telling you is something that is like not crazy, bro. I'm telling you right now, bro. Nikola Jokic is a very, very strong player, but the reason why he's in the tier 1 is because of how dominant he would be offensively. The same can be said for Steph Curry. That's all I'm saying because Steph's defense,
that's
right?
fair. That's actually fair. That's fair.
Even if you say Steph Curry's defense is not great, fine. But because he's a guard surrounded by other average to very positive defenders,
a guard with very good discipline too. A very well-disciplined guard.
Yeah, high
that's
IQ,
what I'm not understanding.
Or not high, but IQ versus.
You won't ever see Curry make like a real bad decision defensively. Like,
in the playoffs or just period.
I ain't gonna lie, he did let Monte Morris. He let Monte Morris hit that game.
Yeah, he did last year.
Would you have Steph, Jokic, Giannis then based on this discussion?
No.
Okay, honestly,
I have Giannis number 1.
Yeah,
not gonna lie, y'all have convinced me. I would put Steph in tier 1.
Yeah, I think Steph tier 1.
That's
easily the worst thing that he did was put Paul George on this list. No cap.
That was easily the worst thing he did. Easily.
That was by far the worst.
And
you had Levine, and you had Levine.
Oh yeah, you had
DeRozan. Hey, man, respect DeRozan. Respect DeRozan.
DeRozan at 14.
I ain't go cap.
PG ain't go cap.
Respect DeRozan over Rudy Gobert.
Oh, that's nasty. That's nasty. DeRozan over Gobert is disgusting.
DeRozan over Gobert.
He shouldn't be over Gobert.
That's gross. But and Levine at 25 is nasty as well, bro. Got better.
Yeah,
hey, listen, Chad. Listen. Overall, Swiper.
Bam Adebayo. That was
hey, Bam.
Damn, we just flaming this nigga list. Hey, you got the whole list, or do you have the whole list as a whole, or is it slide?
No, yeah, it's all in slots.
I got it. Is well, let me say that back. It's Jokic, Giannis. I'm sorry. Let me go back. Let me cut that out. That's really, I don't care what you got on the screen right now. You got Jokic number 1. Is Jokic, Giannis number 1 and 2, Curry 3, Luka 4, Embiid 5, Tatum 6, LeBron 7, KD 8, Jimmy 9, Trey 10, Booker 11, Ja Morant 12, Chris Paul, 13. That just sounds crazy. Devin Booker 14. Rudy Gobert 15.
Wait, Devin Booker's 11. DeMar DeRozan 14. Devin Booker's 11.
I'm sorry, DeMar DeRozan 14. Gobert 15. Harden 16. PG.
Paul George.
PG should not be on this list. He should not be on this list.
PG.
You know he shouldn't be on this list.
That man who venue heard DeMar and then just left again.
He shouldn't even qualify.
Oh man.
Yeah, he doesn't qualify, Swiper. Come on, dog.
Go to the next one real quick. 21 through 25.
Swiper,
I would give you like a B- on this list. I'm not.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad of a list.
I give you an F.
You didn't want James Harden on here. I don't want to hear that.
I did want James Harden on here. Like he's top 25. I just think Harden is 5 slots too high, way too high. So,
bro, Levine at 25 is so disrespectful, bro.
It's not. It's really not.
Draymond over Levine is insane.
Yeah, Draymond's over.
Yeah, no, he's
crazy.
Better than Levine, sadly. Very sadly.
Y'all gross.
I just want to say shout out to Swiper and all the other content creators, Low, Young Mustard. Listen, I got passionate, but you know what I'm saying? I like basketball. Good conversation. The projection list, that's going to be toxic.
Oh, yeah, we already know.
I like
what you think going to happen?
And if niggas think that we was toxic, bro, this is nothing, bro, compared to some.
This is nothing. This is nothing.
This is nothing. Lo, I don't know what you're saying. Okay for it, bro. Like I don't be hearing you.
Don't try to.
Bro.
Please don't out the Discord. Please don't.
Oh no, I'm talking about spaces, nigga. I'm not talking about the Discord.
Yeah, Lo, come on.
Like, you don't want to out it yourself.
Because the Discord is fucking ridiculous.
Oh, that's
I'm letting you know right now,
right there, nigga. But
when we do this projection list, Zion gonna be high as hell. I'm letting you know that right now.
Well, he gonna be high because blood sugar high. Why he high?
Oh, Low. You
hoe for that, Lo. Chill out. You're a hoe.
I got Russ top 15 for projections.
No, you do
Nigga
not.
said his blood
No, you don't.
Wait,
top 15 trade value.
Top 15 what? You even got top 15 trade value.
Top 15 niggas going to China.
He got top 15 trade value now.
Hey, Mustard and Low, y'all still owe me dinner when Russ gets traded, by the way. So
how did it turn into dinner? It was 20. It was $20.
He just turned $20 into dinner.
Wait, hold on. When did we even agree to $20?
No, I agreed to the $20 bet.
No.
My about to waive him.
Ask Shub to send you that space recording that I sent him. In the recording, what we said is that if Russ gets traded, it's going to be for either bad contracts to be salary filler. That's what we said.
You said
that's literally what we said.
Specifically, remember, you said Russ is not possible to be traded. It's not possible to trade Russ.
Oh my gosh!
No. I know. I remember we said that unless it's just bad contracts.
That's what we said. I remember that. We said y'all not getting no good return.
We were literally in April, and we talking about Russ has.
Well, there's no bad contracts.
I'm trying to remember.
I don't think there's any.
If I was here for that conversation,
not Hayward can be moved, right? If I'm not mistaken,
they're not gonna move him. Come on.
And then I moved.
Nobody want to talk about the Lakers or Russell Westbrook.
Teams at least Russ could go to. So.
Oh yeah, fuck Russ.
I'm gonna have it right behind me too. I'm gonna have Shubs 20 on my wall right behind me. No cap.
This man Low tags.
I'm not gonna lie. Hanging up 20 is nasty.
Yeah,
hanging up 20 is nasty.
$20 mine.
I am, man. I'm hanging that shit, man. I'm gonna put.
I'm not gonna lie, if Westbrook gets waived, man. Oh man!
Nah, get out of here.
Nah, that's crazy. Nah,
nullify the bet if he gets waived.
Not gonna lie, I'd waive him if I'm the Lakers.
That was some corny shit. That was
some corny shit. If he gets traded and waived,
if Westbrook can't be traded before the beginning of the season, I just waive him if I'm the Lakers, bro.
Bro, there's no way.
We don't even save money.
Or I'd buy him out. I'm not gonna lie.
Listen. This is my thing. Westbrook played like absolute shit last season, but come on, that shit is wild.
No, he sucks. He sucks. No,
it's not. You should have seen every game last year.
No, he's bad.
Nah, bro,
that's the type of nigga. That's the type of nigga that you waive. That's the type of nigga that you cut.
Nah, listen. Non-Laker fans think we're hard on Westbrook. Watch every single game last year.
I'll say this though: if Westbrook after he gets waived, he can go to the Wizards though. That'd be a nice little situation.
There's a few 19. Listen, I said on Space.
I wonder how they would play together.
If Russ makes the All-Star team next year, I will not be surprised, bro. He's that talented. Like
he's not making no damn All-Star team, bro.
He's not, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Stop. You're
not a general manager. Stop trying to sell him.
I know Shub thinks that he can drive up his trade value by talking about this shit.
His wife man, 18-7-7. How many guys doing that?
Stop, Shub.
I mean, that's true.
Are we doing the rest of this, or are we going to just end it?
I think we should table that shit, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we should.
Wait, hold on. So we could do is the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference in terms of who we think the contenders are coming out going into next year, and then like I said, the entire other episode dedicated to the projection for the top 25 next year. So we can do the Eastern Conference or the Western Conference, if both, or we can do the one of them, the Western or Eastern Conference right now.
We should talk about overall contenders to like.
All right.
So Swiper,
we all know
you got Denver as a contender.
You said what?
You have a contenders tier list now, like outside contenders, inside contenders, inside contenders.
I do. Y'all know I have everything ready in prep. I'm not young mustard. I don't just use graphics and stuff. I actually put content together.
All right, you on my dick now. You on my dick.
All right.
Did you include parentheses?
Yo, hoop venue. You kind of do look like Josh Giddey a little bit.
What?
No, you're really
heard somebody say he looked like. Heard somebody in the comments say he looked like Josh.
No, you on his dick. That's crazy.
All right, Lo, you just don't see the vision, bro.
Why not? Why would I want to see the vision of somebody like what?
You don't see the vision.
Why would he want to see the vision on that though?
Yeah, what's the vision?
Gifted, get back on the camera if you're gonna talk to me, bro. Come on now.
Yeah, come on, Gifted.
Okay.
Be professional.
You think I don't?
You showing us a graphic you made, Swiper.
Yeah,
I'm about to say, come on now. I'm about to say
tweet right now. What the fuck?
This nigga here, bro.
Hold on.
Yo, you're showing us a tweet.
That's 807.
No, you shitting on me for graphics when he got graphic right there.
That's crazy. Nigga showing us a tweet is crazy.
Not just
hey man, be quiet, bro. Relax. Everybody relax.
Nigga really got the Nuggets in tier 1.
Hold on.
Wow, bro.
What you mean, man? Y'all are so weird, bro. Like y'all are the weirdest
I'm
people
so Swiper. If y'all don't make the conference finals next year, I swear, bro.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Y'all make the
but if they healthy, I ain't got no issue with that, bro. That's the whole point.
Swiper, I'm not gonna lie. If y'all flame out somehow in the first,
it's never happened. It's never happened. They haven't done it. They haven't done it since they've been a full team, bro. Since they've been older, bro. I'm not really worried about it whatsoever. All right. So just to be clear.
Swiper, define your definition of a contender. What is the definition of a contender?
Yeah, so these are the teams I think in the Western and Eastern Conference that I think have the most legitimate shot of winning an NBA championship next year. So these are the teams that have the most legitimate shot. I have it based on who's tanking, who's in that section of like they're not fighting for a play-in yet. Your play-in teams, your playoff teams, your fringe contenders, and then your contenders.
Let me pull up this tweet.
Bro, you can put
so right now
tanking. You can put Thunder in tanking. I don't know why.
I don't know, bro. They have a lot of that yet. He said, with SGA on the roster,
nigga, they are not going to be good. Come on, bro. Stop it, bro.
With SGA on the roster.
That's disrespectful to the Kings, by the way.
No, what you mean? No, you got to remember, bro. When SGA was on the court last year, they were playing too well, which is why they had to bench SGA. I think when SGA,
they'll do it again.
I hate when niggas say that shit. They're still not a good team, bro. I don't know why you're doing that.
I mean, they're not a good team, but I'm saying they're not like
okay. You think they're as good as the Kings? The Kings. I mean,
wait. What are the Kings? Wait. What do you think the Kings are gonna do,
bro?
I don't think the Kings.
The Kings should just be under the trash. You should have another tier called trash.
Bro, show some respect to Malik Monk.
I don't think the Kings. I don't think the Kings are gonna make the playoffs. I don't think the Kings are gonna make the playoffs. There's a chance they might even make the play-in. But yeah, shut up. But
Sean is crazy, yo. He said they got
was crazy last year, bro.
But they have pieces there. Keegan Curry looking nice in the summer league, bro. And
King's not going to
be. He's probably going to be an instant impact player, but they're going to be better than the fucking Thunder, bro.
No, honestly, I don't mind it. I think everything you got here is fine. I don't mind this.
Okay, but you have to put an asterisk. Like, if Lakers get Kyrie, like, where's it going to be?
No, there is no asterisk. Man. No, there isn't. There isn't. That's
why
they're right where they belong. They're right where they belong. They're right where they belong.
Hypothetically, you have to include that, just like you.
And look at the list. Are they going to be better than the freaking Pelicans next year with Kyrie Irving with no defenders?
Are we not better than the Wolves and the Grizzlies and the Mavericks? What the fuck?
No. Oh gosh, man.
Yo, NMZ's a straight hater, bro.
Sign Christian Wood, Hall of Famer Christian Wood.
Yo, NMZ's a straight hater.
No, I see that nigga in the comments.
I think the Mavericks did get worse. I don't think they're going to be as good as they were this
Mavericks
season.
Did not get better.
But I'm not going to lie. Is it a stretch to say that
the Mavericks were in, this is the same tier that they were in last year, no?
Is it a stretch to say that the Grizzlies without Jaren Jackson could fall to a play-in team?
I don't think they're going that low. I don't think they're going.
I don't know about playing. I don't know about.
I have no problem with this.
Especially if the Pelicans take that next step.
I don't really have a problem with this, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's more so nitpicks.
Yeah, but it's fine.
It's cool
to
me.
Though, yeah.
Are you saying the Nuggets are the second best contender, or you just got them in the tier?
This is his full. Yeah, everybody's healthy.
Come on now.
So
what I'm saying, you have the Nuggets as the second
y'all
best
don't watch.
contender?
Yeah, I think if everybody's fully healthy, the Nuggets are going to push for 58, 57 wins next year. 1,000%.
No, but are they the second best contender in the West?
I think they're better than the Clippers. So yes, I think they're better than the Clippers. I think the Warriors are going to be the lead.
Are these teams in order then? Are these teams in order?
Yeah, I mean, roughly. They're roughly in order. So I would say that like from tier 1 to tier 2.
I think the Clippers are the best team in the league on paper. So
I mean, I don't think they're going to.
That shit always on paper, ain't it?
That's true.
I mean, they're going to be really good. They're D1 to 12.
Gifted. All we have is
the way Gifted said that shit. He's like, man, that shit always on paper, huh? It is.
I mean,
but
July,
that team is stacked though. That team,
I
just feel it feels weird to say this, but they are stacked though. That is a
no, they are stacked though. Yeah.
Oh, they're stacked.
Yes, they are.
They stacked.
I'll put the Warriors.
Gifted is a crazy Warrior fan. That's crazy.
I would put the Warriors. But this is a good list. I will put the Warriors.
But it's a fine list. It's a fine list.
This is fine. Yeah.
The Clippers are going to be running John. Yeah, hold on.
Oh, my fault. Go ahead.
No, yeah. So I think the thing with the Clippers though, they're going to be able to run John Wall, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Morris, Ivica Zubac, Reggie Jackson, Terrence Mann, Norman Powell, Robert Covington, Nicholas Batum, Amir Coffey, and Luke Kennard at their top 12. So they're going to be able to go with anybody.
Bro. That's insane.
NMZ said the Clippers are clearly tier 2.
Oh wow.
I mean, no. I mean Nuggets. He said the Nuggets are clearly tier 2.
Yeah, they don't watch the Nuggets. I'm not surprised.
Have a chance to get like the best record in the league next season. I think that is
what I want to know. What I want to know, Swiper, is what have the Nuggets done to prove that they're on the same tier as a team that's won a championship?
Like the Clippers? What the Clippers have proved?
Be the same way.
Talking about the Warriors. Hey, but
what do you mean, bro? The Warriors are the favorite. They just won a championship. They're number 1.
Here's the thing with the Clippers. Hold up. The Clippers are actually their best player has won a championship.
Oh,
he's led a team to a championship. Their second best player has led multiple teams to conference finals.
Yeah.
Hey, your team only went to the conference finals in the middle of the pandemic in the bubble. So
that's fine. And LeBron won a championship in the middle of the pandemic too.
Hey, nobody care about that fluky Disney Lakers ring. Come on now.
Hey, let's relax.
I know that.
Hey, I know listen, I know they choked heavily, but like the continuity, like last season, we don't think the Suns is in that first tier.
No.
I think
as long as Devin Booker,
everybody just said no.
As long as Devin Booker is their best player, they're not winning a championship.
No one's going to be surprised if they get the first seed next year and then whatever.
That's not the problem. The problem is
no.
But the issue though is Chris Paul is going to be 37.
The problem with the
Suns is going to be 37.
If your tertiary shot creator is Mikal Bridges, that's just not it. I'm sorry, bro.
I mean, they made the finals.
He can't be your third go-to shot creator guy to me.
They made the finals with that same formula,
bro. That was 2 years ago.
We're talking about winning a championship with a much better team.
I think the Western Conference has gotten better, and in the hypothetical where everybody is healthy, including the Clippers and Nuggets, I do think they're the fourth best team.
I just think they should maybe be contenders.
No, they trash up. It doesn't matter.
So here the Eastern Conference, the contenders are the Bucks, the Celtics, and the 76ers.
Oh, you put an asterisk on Brooklyn, but you don't put an asterisk on the Lakers.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? The Lakers don't have Kyrie Irving. Brooklyn currently has KD and Kyrie Irving on the roster. What do you mean? In case they get traded, I have no idea.
Russell Westbrook gets
they're on the roster. Russell Westbrook is on the roster. I'm not doing that. He's on the roster. I'm not doing that.
Kyrie Irving,
bro. No, stop. Bro.
With the net, and look where they are.
Come on, bro. You put an asterisk on Brooklyn, but then didn't put an asterisk on the Lakers. That makes
wait. Why would I put it on the Lakers?
Same conversation as KD.
Because the team that would get Kyrie would be the Lakers.
And they still would be where they are. You don't understand this. I have them properly rated. I don't want to hear this, you Lakers fan. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this. The Brooklyn Nets will be the fifth best team in the Eastern Conference.
Let me get it straight now. If they get Kyrie and they're healthy,
they're not a top 3 team. They're not a top 3 team.
You're telling me they can't beat the Nuggets?
No, they can't guard anybody. They can't guard a soul.
Wait. No,
they cannot guard a soul.
Low. You didn't hold him accountable for what he said. He said if they get Kyrie, they don't change in tier. So you're telling me if they get Kyrie Irving, they're struggling to make
I think they're fighting with the Pelicans. I think they're fighting with the Pelicans in that tier.
Oh, hell no.
They're fighting with the Pelicans. You know what's funny? I can't wait. I can't wait to watch this. I cannot wait to watch this next year and watch y'all. I watch y'all's tears.
You don't believe that. You don't believe
that. Shove. They're going to be fighting. They're going to be fighting with the Pelicans next year, bro. I don't want to hear this.
Kevin Durant is as many trade conversation as Russell Westbrook is to the day. There's no reason we shouldn't have an asterisk next to our team name.
But they're not on the roster.
Kevin Durant.
I get that, but you're still projecting it for the trade that happened in Brooklyn, which is why you put the asterisk on there.
You know what's funny?
If the asterisk is there, where else is Kyrie going?
No, so the reason that the asterisk is there is because that's where they are. I think they're going to be the 5th best team in the regular season next year or going into the year if they have KD, if they have Kyrie. Okay. My whole thing with the Lakers is right now they would have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and I'm hoping that they stay healthy long enough to be able to contend for a play-in team or the last playoff spot from the 7th through 8th. Now, if they get Kyrie, honestly don't see them moving a whole bunch. But that's just me. That's just my personal take on the Lakers.
Yeah,
that's my personal take on the Lakers.
You're right. So let's be clear. If y'all lose to the Lakers with Kyrie, that means that in your mind y'all lost to a play-in team.
I don't think that the Nuggets or the Clippers or the Warriors are losing to the Lakers.
That's not his swipe. But please answer my question. If the Nuggets lose to the Lakers, y'all gonna lose to a play-in team. That's what you're saying?
Like in the playoffs, like yeah. Well, so this is the thing.
Let us get this clip, man. Yes or no? Let us get the clip, please.
Yeah, no, it don't work like that because if the Lakers, listen, if the Lakers are good enough, if the Lakers are good enough to beat the Nuggets next year, that means they're a contender. That means I would have been wrong about our prediction in the first place.
What a flip!
What do you mean?
But you are saying even with Kyrie, you don't see them changing. So
I don't believe it. I need to see it. I don't believe in them right now.
Okay, I need to see Michael Porter Jr. be healthy for a full season. But we're projecting right now. We're projecting. So since we're projecting as of today,
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know how much better they're going to be. Defensively, y'all can better guard us all. I just said, go look at where they are. Go look at they just are. I just said, I don't know how much they move with Kyrie Irving because they don't have a single player who can play defense outside of Anthony Davis.
As much. You said you don't believe
I'm not impressed by the Lakers.
Okay, so if that is the case, get the fucking clip. If they get Kyrie Irving,
two Lakers fans up here. This is hilarious.
No, Swipe. I'm gonna get this clip. I'm getting this fucking clip. If you're telling me if the Lakers get Kyrie Irving and everyone is healthy and they play the Nuggets, you're telling me that if the Lakers beat the Nuggets, that means that your Nuggets team lost to a fucking play-in team. That's what
that would mean.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works.
That's how it works. Yes, it is.
No, because guess what? No, it's not. No, if they're good enough to beat one of those 3 teams, they're obviously a contender. That means I had a preseason
them to not be that with Kyrie. You're saying if they get Kyrie,
and I'm also projecting they're not going to. So here we go. I'm also projecting they're not going to beat the Nuggets. That's fair.
Right. But that means if they beat the Nuggets, both no. That means if they beat the Nuggets, right? Both projections are incorrect and you were wrong. But that also means
but I agree.
I agree. You lost to a playing team by your logic.
Because by your logic, the Nuggets should be the second. Wait, by your logic, the Nuggets should be like the second.
He said sure, Lo. He said sure.
They should be the second best team. Okay, they should be the second best team. The Lakers are the 7th. So if they lose, they did lose to a playing team.
Sure, fine. If you want to say that,
the rest of the tiers, it looks fine for me.
But if the Lakers,
no, I take that back. Atlanta should be higher. I think Atlanta should be.
But if the Lakers were to get Kyrie and be higher, would they not be a playing team?
They're not going to be fighting to make the playoffs. I'm not.
Atlanta should be higher. Yeah, Atlanta should be
higher. Who should be higher?
Fringe contender with a center rotation of Vooch and Drummond is crazy. Crazy.
That is crazy.
With all due respect, Mustard, that is crazy.
What are you talking about?
I think
hold on. But so the reason I haven't cheered off like this, I think the Heat and Brooklyn are going to be your friend contenders. I think that the Cavs, the Bulls, and the Raptors are clear playoff teams. But it's not necessarily like they're going to be.
But we're saying is
why y'all acting like when we were healthy, we were not the literally number one.
Okay, but
East,
but that was before they got DeJounte Murray, who I think is gonna fit fine on that team.
Nobody care about that nigga, bro.
Nobody doesn't care about DeMar DeRozan. Nobody doesn't care.
And guess what?
That's not true. That's not true.
Goddammit. That's not true, yo. I care about DeMar DeRozan. I care about
regular season DeMar DeRozan is him.
We don't care about Vucevic.
MVP DeRozan.
Regular season DeMar DeRozan is him. That's
let it be known as a Laker fan, Lonzo will never be healthy. Just letting you know right now.
That might be true, sadly. That might be true, sadly. That's kind of why I don't have the Bulls.
How can you say that as a grown man wishing injuries on another man, bro?
We know because he's been dealing with injuries practically every year.
Bro, first of all, I don't know why you can't be positive to think that this man can't play 60 plus games because he can do it. It's in his body.
60 plus is wild, though. I'm not gonna lie.
60
plus for Lonzo is crazy as hell.
But I think Atlanta, even if you don't want to move a team out, I do believe Atlanta is.
But wait a minute. They would have to be because at that point in time, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams. So they would have to bump one of those teams out. So who do they bump out? The Raptors?
I don't mind that. I don't care.
Wait, you're talking about the Hawks?
If we were to bump the Hawks up.
I think Hawks are definitely better than the Bulls and the Raptors.
I just want to quickly let Mustard know that Lonzo Ball has not played 60 games one time in his entire career.
Man, Mustard. Look at this nigga
happened,
right now. Yo, zoom in on this nigga right now.
But hold up, there was a shortened season though.
Zoom in on Mustard.
He still couldn't play 60. Zoom in on this nigga right now.
Bro. I will read you off the totals.
Guard,
his rookie season, he played 52. His sophomore, he played 47.
Bro, get the camera off, bro. Get the camera off, bro.
Yo, your point guard is is constantly on the bench, my boy.
There's no problem. That's why I think Kobe White, he has to take a step up this upcoming year.
Oh my God, Kobe White! Who value? He said Kobe White. Who value? Heard that? Kobe White. Kobe White with an L.
Bro, you know, I still get mad to this day that Jeremy.
Wait, who said that? Who said that?
Little of a package.
Who's I?
was literally right there. We could have got Jeremy Grant.
Oh, wait, actually, Lonzo played 63 games.
What do you mean the 76ers aren't going to be contenders next year? Have you seen their roster?
Oh, you're tweaking.
Have you seen their roster?
I have
James Harden's going to be an all NBA player next season.
Don't forget, PJ Tucker, D'Anthony Melton. D'Anthony Melton was a nice pickup as well.
Tobias Harris.
That's going to be hard. That's going to be hard for Harden to be all NBA.
I'm going to look dead in the camera when I say this. James Harden will be an all NBA player next season. I stand on that.
They're a French contender, I would say.
I don't know about that.
I think 70. I think this
will put money on that.
I think this is the best team of the Joel Embiid era for sure.
Easily.
Easily, yeah.
No, for sure. But Curry, Young, Ja Morant, that's already 3 right there.
Okay,
if Dame come back, you know he's putting up like crazy monstrous numbers on that.
And they're not gonna have the wins. Keep it going.
They still gonna put him on it though. He's
not gonna have the wins. He's not gonna have the wins though. He's not gonna have the wins.
Luka is also another one as well.
Okay.
The nigga sweating now.
Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going.
No, I mean, did I not just name like 6?
Did you? You said Luka, Steph Curry. You said Ja Morant. Who else?
Trae
DeRozan.
Young.
Okay, Trae Young. Okay, so that's 4.
No,
DeRozan, obviously.
DeRozan obviously is hilarious.
Oh man.
Top 14 player DeMar DeRozan.
I'm just saying,
in the way they
spots open for Harden.
The way they suck off D Book, who knows?
Nah. He's not making it twice.
Something's wrong with y'all.
Oh my bad.
James Harden will be all NBA.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh, fuck out of here.
Now
Wins matter. Wins matter, bro.
Ruining my argument.
I'll put the money on it. I will put the money on James Harden being an all NBA player this season.
I personally would not. I just wouldn't bet that. That's
no way. Hey, Swiper, yeah, I would put Sixers. I don't trust their coaching. Obviously, I would put them like the top of the fringe contenders, though. I would switch them out with the.
Yeah, that is true. You can't be a contender with Doc Rivers as your coach. No cap.
No, that's nonsense. Yeah. That's nonsense.
Doc Rivers does mess up the agenda.
What? How's that nonsense? That's a fact.
He won a championship. Give him his respect. Top 10 coach of all time.
Stop gassing that one championship.
With that super duper team, you're right.
I'm not trying to hear that fucking Liberty team. Nah, bro.
Damn, Sharp got a fan in here. He's like, yo, let Sharp talk, man. Let that man.
Yeah, man. Who's this?
He said Shub can't get a word in. Oh wow.
Oh wow.
I mean, Shub can't say shit about.
I'm chilling, man.
Shub can't say anything.
They said we're against Indian people. Wow.
That's wild. That's wild as hell.
Now let them talk. Yo, Shub, they're going to talk, man.
Y'all don't think the Hawks can be better?
I do believe the Hawks.
I do. Yeah, no, I think they should be up. Yeah,
I think they should be higher. I think the Raptors should be lower or the Bulls.
Are the Hawks going to be better than the Raptors to you?
I think they can. I genuinely believe they can be. Yes.
Hey, Lo, when are you putting Nikola Jokic jersey behind you?
I don't trust Lloyd Pierce like that.
I have to take down Giannis and put up Curry, and I'm trying to figure out who
Lloyd Pierce is. He's not the
who would I take.
Right? He's not.
I gotta put on another jersey next to Curry. I don't know who I'm putting up next to Curry yet though.
Can we
Bill Russell?
Can we talk about the Heat
Bill
for a
Russell
second?
jersey,
Where did they go from here? I'm really
Man, nobody give a fuck about the Heat unless the Heat are getting Mitch or KD. Nobody cares about them. They're not doing nothing. They're not doing nothing, bro.
Yeah, Lloyd. Who said Lloyd Pierce?
Why don't you wait, Swipe? I actually have a question, Swipe. I have a question.
They're not better than my team, by the way.
Why didn't you put an asterisk next to the Knicks and or Miami? Because if you think that the Jazz are tanking,
I don't think Miami's getting Donovan. I don't think Miami's getting Donovan.
They're not getting Donovan though.
I think the Knicks are getting Donovan, but I think the thing is that they're going to give out RJ Hampton and maybe Fournier, maybe Randall. I don't know what they're going to give up. I don't know how much they're going to.
I'm sorry, who?
I'm saying they're going to trade.
I'm sorry.
Between
who is RJ Hampton?
Evan Fournier.
I've never heard of RJ Hampton in my life.
RJ Barrett. Yeah, he played.
No, RJ Hampton is nice.
He played for the Magic. So I think between RJ Barrett, Evan Fournier, and Julius Randle.
Cock goblin.
No asshole, bro.
Yo, let's talk, man. They saying let that man talk.
If it's not about the Lakers, he gonna be quiet. I fuck
right, pure quiet.
I'm a Lakers specialist. I don't really, Exactly.
No, you were saying about Miami, bro. They want to hear you talk, bro. Let's talk, man.
Yeah, go ahead. Good. Miami's ceiling. I don't know where they go from here. They just had insane playoff like I talk about their roster.
I don't think they go anywhere, to be honest.
I completely agree with Bam gets better. I agree with Shug.
Who's gonna be better? Miami next year?
Get off that nigga nuts, bro. Get off that nigga nuts. First of all, I don't even know what the fuck. I don't know what we're talking about Miami for. They're not.
Yo, Mustard, let him talk, man.
That team smells. They have Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero is unplayable in the playoffs. Duncan Robinson is so aggressive, man. No, that team is garbage, bro. Why are we talking about that team? They're gonna do nothing but lose in the first and second round. They're trash. And guess what? Compare that team to my Bulls. That just proves how sus they are.
Jay Ride said Swipe is smarter than all of y'all.
Further than you. They went further than you.
Yo, that's what be impressive. Jay Ride. Jay Ride, stop. Hey, yo, Jay Ride, stop Jay riding this nigga Swiper, bro. Stop riding that nigga, bro.
Cook a little
bit. Who are you talking about?
I'm pretty sure his name is
Jay Ride.
I think it's Jay Reed.
Or Jay Reed.
Jay Ride is Jay Reed, nigga.
You can't even read it. That's why he said that. You can't even read it.
Hey, Jay Reed. I
think he got glasses on and still can't pronounce that.
Hey, Jay Reed, stop. I can.
Jay Ride is his name.
He really proved the point.
You need to re-up your lenses, nigga. What the hell?
No, Ride. The E can pronounce like
that. Hey, Khalil. Hey, wait, hold on. Shut up. He said you got more money than all of us. That's good. They tell him about your casting and Euphoria. Tell him about your casting and Euphoria. Tell him about your spot gig in Euphoria.
I ain't gonna lie, Drake did kidnap you.
Almost get a job, they saying.
Who the fuck said I should get a job?
Almost get a job is wild.
Almost
get a job.
All
right, first of all, I know I just know that's Shub's burner account. One of y'all niggas burner trying to play me.
I got a burner for it.
I'm not gonna lie, Shub do got burners.
I ain't got no burners. I'll show you all my accounts.
Damn, that's tough, my boy.
And man said I got no burners. I'll show you my multiple accounts.
Swiper got more money than all of you.
I got you,
bro. Jay Ride, get off your knees, bro.
Jay Reed.
Jay Ride is crazy.
Jay Ride.
What we doing?
It's definitely Jay Ride. It's definitely Jay Ride. That East Silent as hell.
Hey, Gifted, when we doing a Lakers
game? Hey, Lo, they said. Oh, well, I don't want to.
I didn't hear you, Shub. Say that.
Disrespectful.
When we doing a Lakers game?
Disrespecting you, Lo. They're disrespecting you.
Oh, we're gonna probably do the Lakers bubble championship in the next 2 weeks. That's probably coming.
All right, I'll be there for that.
Why you call it a bubble championship? Call it what it is.
Lo, they said you should stream that more.
One.
They haven't seen you on Twitch.
Or like an old school.
I just got my. This is my new PC right here. I just got my new PC.
Normal T, you're spitting.
Okay.
Gifted. I'll DM you some recs about some Laker games we could do.
That would help. That would help. Like to break down film.
Yeah, I'll DM you.
I'll bet with someone I'll bet with someone that the Timberwolves are the 1 seed in the West.
Okay.
Hey, I got you.
Rudy Gobert truther.
I got you. Cash App at Gifted X Blade. I got you.
How much money you?
No,
I
got it. I got this.
How much I want to put on the Timberwolves?
I don't think you do, Mustard.
Yes,
I do. How much you want to bet?
I'll take that bet, Adrian.
I'll put 40 on it.
I bet
40,000.
Right
Bet. Say less.
Hey,
Yeah, 40,000.
Right now.
Yeah.
I'll put 40,000 if they would not
on the James Harden.
Let's do 70. Let's do 70.
James Harden All NBA. Yeah, how much you want to do that for?
50. I'll do that.
Let's double that. Let's double that. Let's do 80. Let's do 80.
Hang on.
Okay.
Let me plead my case real quick, though. Go ahead. The Timberwolves, they have some playoff issues, I think, but the fact that in the calendar year 2022, they were the 5th best team in the league by net rating and record. They were the 5th best team in the league in the calendar year 2022. They just added Rudy Gobert, who everyone knows is one of the most valuable regular season players in the league. Anthony Edwards, most star guards take a leap in their 3rd year. So if Anthony Edwards leaps to being the best player on this team with Cat and Gobert in the regular season, that's a 1 seed.
I don't think first seed is
You
a
sound
bad
like
take.
Mike Krzimba when you
That's
said
not a
that.
bad take at all. I see the regular season success.
You are on your Kozemba shit right now, but
You
look
sound
at
like
that.
Definitely
Michael
see
Simmons.
regular season success though.
Okay, AK, hoop. Let's double that. Let's do 80.
$80 on Timberwolves 1 seed.
$80 on the Timberwolves 1 seed.
Don't take that.
But what if there's like an injury? Like if they
Hey, you confident? You confident though, right?
Because
You're
it could be.
confident.
You can't go out with injury.
Hey, it could be on the other side as well.
You had a beautiful case.
Okay, I'll do this. I'll do this. Hoop. I'll do this. If Gobert and Cat, if Gobert and Cat are healthy, you want to do that?
And because
like what? Like 60 plus games? 60 plus games?
I think fully healthy, the Timberwolves will have the best regular season record in the West. But like, I don't want to put all the
Mavs are out in the first round, by the way.
All the money on one team just for one of their players to miss like 15 games and drop to second.
But by that logic, that applies to literally everybody.
Every team.
Every team. So if Draymond misses 15 games, then they wouldn't be in the conversation anymore.
Hey, Gifted. So 50 on Harden All NBA right now.
I will do 50.
Mustard, I'll do 80 on Timberwolves.
It does have to be injury.
You want to do 80?
No. Wait.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I'll do 80.
How do we shake?
How many?
We virtual shake. Virtual shake. Okay,
I'll do 80.
But wait, are we doing the injury thing
over 50
or no?
games? He's eligible. Otherwise, the bet is
if there's
Harden plays over 50.
If any of their big three misses more than 20 games, how about that?
Yes.
Okay.
Nigga, I'm taking this gifted.
Okay, D-Lo don't count, right? I'm taking this getting hurt too.
Okay,
good. Okay,
if
good.
any of their big three,
I better not hear you say D-Lo got hurt, bro, because you know he gets hurt all the time, right?
D-Lo got hurt, bro. How much you putting up?
80.
I'll go on that. I'll go on 80. All right, is that okay? That means you're gonna owe both me and Mustard.
I'm not doing 2. No.
Hey, Lo, I secured the Harden bet with Gifted.
Now I want my $20. I want my $20 shop.
You're not gonna get it.
When we wait,
hey, Swiper, get this. This man Low keeps tagging me.
I'm gonna put that in my notes, Hoop. You better put that in your notes.
That is over, bro. LeBron, AD, and Russ had a cold conversation. Shove. I need my.
I'm not forgetting my money. I don't forget about the bag.
That was nasty shit.
Every 7 days, Low tags me.
Every 3 weeks is new news saying that he's gonna stay.
Here's a question: Are the Lakers going to be better than the Mavericks next year at the very least?
That is a question, though.
Swiper, I promise you, Swiper.
That is a question, though.
No. It is a Swiper. The Nuggets better make, and I'm so serious. They better make the conference.
I asked the question.
They better make the
question about the Lakers.
Y'all better.
I asked the question about the Lakers. I want to know: are the Lakers going to be better than the Mavericks?
I'm so serious, Swiper. You would not be able to go on Twitter for 2 months, Swiper. I'm so serious. You would not be able to. You won't be on Twitter.
On some G shit, Swiper. If y'all lose, if y'all lose, Swiper. Look at me, Swiper. On some real shit. Let the Warriors meet y'all ass in the playoffs. You talking all this slight shit about Steph Curry, and we beat y'all in the playoffs.
Oh, wait. The Steph Curry, y'all played Monte Morris in the playoffs. Oh, wow. Great job, Steph.
Hey, Swiper.
But you had Denver winning the series, though.
Swiper, you will not be able to go on Twitter for 2 months if they don't make the conference final.
Look, I have. If they're fully healthy, if they're fully healthy, then they're my pick out the West.
Nuggets making the conference finals. How much you want to put on it?
If they're fully healthy,
wait. If I get 60 plus games from them, how much you got in your bank? How much you got in your bank? How much you got?
How much you got in your bank?
Swipe or stop. Swipe or stop.
$20. Listen. I want your entire check from appearing in Euphoria.
Stop it.
I want your entire check.
You want that whole check?
I want the whole check.
How much are you willing to bet?
If you get 60 plus games from all of them, and then they're all fully healthy going into the playoff, I mean, I'd be willing to bet like $250. That's fair. I think that's fair. But I'll tell you what. I bet you the Lakers with Kyrie. I bet you with the Lakers with Kyrie, they're not going to be a top 3 seed next year. Thinking Kyrie.
I didn't say top 3. I never said top. I didn't say top 3.
No, wait. They're contenders. They're contenders. Y'all the Lakers fans.
That doesn't mean they're going to be a top 3 regular season.
Come on, I want to see this.
Regular season seeding.
That's not what that means. That's not what that means.
Wait a minute. Somebody said I know you ain't hyping up Justin Timberlake with a bad back. You're talking about Michael Porter Jr.
Yo, we can do 250K swiper. That's cool. I got you.
Hey,
he had the K.
You said a check, right?
250K.
I think Lo talking about a CPU or some shit.
Lo got that. That's that Tesla check. I forgot. My bad, Lo.
Real quick, I want to lock this in with Shove though. What are the minimum amount of games a guard has made All NBA with?
Let's look it up.
What's that number? Do we know?
Bro, look up Kyrie. He gotta be the minimum.
I think Kyrie got 13, didn't he?
I don't know about a guard, but I think this year LeBron and what's his name, the forward Bernard King made All NBA team like 50 something.
Right? Yeah,
55.
Yeah, 55.
LeBron played what? 55?
Yeah,
gifted.
I think that's the lowest I've ever seen.
Yeah. Injury clause 55 games. If Harden plays at least 55 games and does not make All NBA, you owe me $50.
I'm with that. Bet. Lock me in.
We about to see a crazy year from this nigga Darius Garland. yeah, Darius Garland about to go crazy.
I need you to understand how that would hurt my feelings because I fuck with Garland tough, but if he make All NBA over Harden next year, I'm cooked.
Hey, no, but look, we gotta save a lot of that for the projection episode because we got to come back, bro. I think we topped out at like
I'm gonna be
450 people.
When's the Laker episode?
This nigga Kyrie, he trying to play for a contract. You know that, right?
Yeah,
that's a fact though.
Kyrie.
Hey, Kyrie playing for a contract.
Wait,
I ain't gonna lie, Levine gonna be fully healthy too.
And listen, Russell Westbrook.
Nobody care about.
Why are y'all doing that? Stop it! Stop it! Why are y'all doing that?
I want y'all to know I'm not afraid. I put my 50 up. Why y'all disrespect Zach Levine like this? Why do y'all do that? Why do y'all act like Levine is not that guy? No, the best player on his team.
Shut up. I firmly believe. Stop. I'm not even debating that. That's just ridiculous.
I don't know how you can debate. It was clearly
He's the best player. He's the best player.
Bro. The Bulls are not good. Stop,
bro. Stop. Don't piss me off, bro. Stop.
Really, DeMar DeRozan.
I love Caruso.
Zach Levine can never have back-to-back game winners. He can never do that in his
career. Tell me about
ever in his life. Do that.
What is going on?
That nigga.
Mustard. DeMar winning MVP.
Boys, I'm to end this goddamn stream.
DeMar is not winning fucking MVP.
DeMar winning MVP. I'm pushing it.
I'm not gonna lie. DeMar winning MVP.
On that note, wrap this shit up. Nigga said DeMar MVP. Wrap this shit up.
I need it for the agenda, bro.
Caruso Defensive Player of the Year agenda. Let's get it.
Hey, Caruso, by the way, was the best bench player in the NBA when healthy at the beginning.
I think Bam
best bench player in the NBA.
All right, listen. I have the hottest take on this panel, and it's probably not gonna happen.
Steph Curry's gonna win MVP.
This player I'm about to name plays a lot of games.
For MVP on the one-seeded Timberwolves.
He plays excellent defense, and he can get buckets. Andrew Wiggins could be an All-NBA player next season.
Turn this fucking thing.
End this shit. Turn
this shit. I actually thought you was somebody serious.
He's serious. He's serious.
Turn this shit off, man.
Andrew Wiggins.
End this shit, Swiper.
Andrew Wiggins could get an All-Star again.
Turn this. You said All-NBA. Turn this shit off.
I'm just saying.
That nigga went from All-NBA to... That nigga went from he could be All-NBA to he could be an All-Star. Nigga,
I ain't gonna lie. Mustard blowing the spot up. I don't know why you're blowing it up like that.
Hey, y'all, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Find Young Mustard on YouTube. 5 Hoop Venue on YouTube. Find Shub on Twitter because he don't got a YouTube unless I think you got a YouTube.
In progress. We're working on it.
In progress. Hey, find Legend of Winning on his multiple channels. Find him on YouTube, obviously. Gifted X Blade. Shout out to him, man. He got a YouTube channel as well, making content. Also does like a bunch of hoop locker room faces and all that kind of stuff. Appreciate everybody coming up here. We're gonna have another episode. We got to do going into the next season where we all predict that Nikola Jokic win 3 straight MVPs.
That's
also come out the
toxic, boy. I can't wait for that.
You are cock goblin.
I can't wait to see to watch Paul George be a top 15 player again.
I can't wait. Yo.
You gotta take.
I cannot wait for the projection list just for him to still have AD outside the top 10.
Tell me about it. Talk about it.
I know. Look at his ass.
Also, he can have Paul George there when he plays.
Anthony Davis is going to be about top 10. He's going to be about top 10 in my projection.
You know what I think it is? I think Anthony Davis will project him.
Look at him. He lagged out. Look at him. Look at him. He's frozen.
Evil for that shit. I know Swiper did that shit, bro. Nah,
I didn't do nothing. I'm not. My hands is not even on nothing. I ain't did nothing.
Nah, that nigga Wi-Fi. That nigga Wi-Fi said shut up.
He just said no for a signature.
Shut. Do you know you cut out just now? Did you know you cut out just now?
He did not know. He did not know.
We couldn't hear words you said.
Your Wi-Fi said shut the fuck up. That's why.
Really?
Yeah. You
That's crazy. The Wi-Fi.
It'd be like that though.
But what?
It's crazy. The Wi-Fi should have let him talk.
All right, y'all. But for real, man. Yeah, follow everybody up here. Subscribe to their channel. Follow them on social media, man. Like all their accounts and all that other stuff, man. Like support the content creator. I want to thank Hoop. I want to thank Shubs. I want to thank Mustard. I want to thank Low. Give to everybody that made this whole day special. We went almost 3 hours and we had like maximum content. A lot of great comments were made. A lot of great suggestions.
New media.
Yeah,
Kobe thread, new media. I have a Kobe thread dropping tomorrow. Go check it out.
You got a
That's a fact.
I got a Kobe thread coming out. Check it out tomorrow.
Oh, so. Kobe thread. Yeah.
That's what's up.
I got a Game 7 breakdown of Toronto versus Philly coming Wednesday. Tap in.
I got a couple of playback videos dropping. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Playback.
I mean, I'm Young Mustard, so that's what's
Shut
up.
up, Mustard. Joe.
Oh my God. Your ass up.
Thanks for gracing the platform, Mustard. Appreciate it.
Hey, appreciate the platform, bro. Appreciate the platform, bro.
Yeah, Hoop, you got any video coming up, Hoop?
Yeah. For once.
So say it. What's the video?
Well, no, I'm working on a few videos right now. My next one, I'm gonna rank my top 25 players. Kind of.
I like it.
But
he said we were beneath we're beneath him, man. He had to do it on his own.
No,
HB,
I'm doing
no 4A4B tiers, please.
I'm gonna do a Timberwolves. I'm gonna do a Timberwolves video too.
That's crazy. HV said he gonna actually put 1 and 2 by his top 2 players.
That's wild.
Wow. Wow.
Yo, hop off Rudy Gobert's penis.
Well, good thing Steph Curry's not going to be there for anybody listening on 1 or 2, but I appreciate it.
Respect Godzilla.
Okay, Swiper.
What? What you just call
that shit cool enough.
What did you just call him?
Respect Godzilla is
What did you just call him?
Respect Godzilla is nasty.
Godzilla.
No, he said Godzilla. Like
Godzilla. I heard
Godzilla.
That's nasty. That's nasty
I don't
word.
know what the
Bro.
hell Godzilla is. Oh, go big. Oh, man.
Hey, bro. Hey, wait, hold on.
Respect the modern day Bill Russell, man.
Okay. It's not even Godzilla. It'd be
actually, that's not a bad take. That's not a bad take, actually.
Yes, it is. That's a horrible take, Mustard. What are you talking about?
Bro, the 60s, nobody cares about the 60s, bro. Put Rudy Gobert in that era. He is literally Bill Russell.
You have Kareem on your top 3. You have Kareem on your top 3, Mustard. We don't want to hear this. You got Kareem on your top 3.
Kareem actually can make layups, bro. That's the difference. He can make layups. That's what he can do.
Godzilla for MVP. I'm pushing it.
Jamar, Jesus.
Somebody said Gifted has to be the least basketball knowledge person on the panel. I highly disagree.
That's ironic.
I agree. I think Gifted doesn't know what he's talking about.
Mustard. Let's not go down this
way. Wait. Can we end with the space that Shub is admitting that Kobe Bryant's not a top 3 player all time?
He is a top 3 player all time.
You finally admitted that?
No, I didn't. He's a top 3 player.
Yo, Shub eyes got so serious though.
What you put words in my mouth for? Don't ever. Kobe's 3rd all time.
Oh Jesus Christ.
His
worse than that Bill
so
Russell take. That's worse than that Bill Russell take, by the way.
It might be worse.
What makes Kobe better than Rudy Gobert?
It just might be.
I gotta get out of here.
Hey, does Kobe got the defensive player of the year?
How many defensive players Kobe got?